Welcome to the best local SEO course on all of YouTube. In this 1 to 2 hour course, I'm going to show you step by step how you can take a local business from page 100 to page 1, first position on Google. I'm going to give you the exact strategies I do in 2025 that work today to take again a local business to number 1 position. It's going to be a step-by-step long course, but I can assure you that if you watch through it all, but most importantly, implement the step that I teach you on here, you can get your business to be number 1 on Google. So with that being said, let's just get straight into it. Any questions you have, just ask them down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's start right now with the Google Business Profile Audit Checklist. Now, this is going to be a step-by-step checklist. I don't want to go over every single one of these steps and actually show you examples while we go. Because the best way to learn is to give you the theory and then show you actual tangible examples of what to do and what not to do, okay? So let's get going. The very first thing, right, is you need to check the category and subcategories your business is in and analyze what the competitors are doing. And you'll notice that it's going to be a recurring theme right here. Taking a look at the competition is very important because if Google, a bit of a tangent here, if I search for Dallas plumber, right, and Google is ranking, this is a sponsored listing, so you can forget about it, right? Google is ranking this one, and this one, and this one, and I'm down here, right? I want to figure out, okay, why is Google ranking these guys? What are these guys doing good that I can replicate in doing on mine as well? So Google isn't ranking these guys just because. They're ranking them because they're doing something good. And it's our job by analyzing them, right, analyzing the competition, to figure out what it is they're doing and the ways that we can find to replicate what they're doing, okay? So, first thing again, check the category and subcategories. Look at the primary categories of your competitors and subcategories, of course, and copy them if they're ranking higher than you. So if you go here to the map pack, right, I installed this plugin, so it's a free plugin, right? I'm not affiliated with them or anything, right? There's a bunch of them that do this. This is called GMB Everywhere, right? And just install it, and it gives you, when you search for local businesses, gives you here the categories, right? Plastic surgeon, plastic surgery clinic, plastic surgeon, plastic surgeon. So we can see that all the ones ranking first here has their primary category plastic surgeon, plastic surgeon, plastic surgeon. There you go, right? This one has medical spa, right? Now, if I were to be a plastic surgery clinic in Dallas, right, what I would do is I would, of course, set my primary category as plastic surgeon. Now, this seems quite obvious, but a lot of people fail to do this. For example, let's see here for Dallas plumber, right? Main category, plumber, plumber as well, plumber, 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 right? This one, it is a plumbing company, right? But their primary category is air conditioner repair. Even though they have plumber down here, right? It's in the middle of a bunch of these categories, right? Now, yeah, they have 1,800 reviews, which is more than these guys right here. Actually, this is sponsored, never mind. Which is more than these guys right here, right? But because their categories are not properly set up, right? According to what Google is valuing, it could be the reason why they're ranking lower. Now, of course, granted, it's not just because you have the right category according to what Google wants that you're going to be ranking higher, right? It's not just, never just one factor. Never just one factor. It's multiple things. Number of reviews, the rating from 0 to 5, right? The closeness to where I'm searching. So if I'm here, right, and searching for a plumber, most likely these will have an advantage. Not that these listings won't appear, most likely they will, right? But because I'm searching from here, these ones will have an advantage. If I'm searching for here, these ones will have an advantage. So there's a lot of factors here. My point is to show you all the factors that come into play so we can optimize for all of them the best we can. And in terms of categories, the very first thing we can optimize for is take a look at what Google is valuing. So what is Google ranking in terms of your competition, and what are the categories and subcategories they put in their Google Business Profile, okay? First things first, and I do know this is simple, but a lot of people get this wrong. So very first thing, set your main category and subcategories according to what Google's valuing for your competitors. Very first thing. Now, reviews, very, very big topic right here, right? Because reviews is mostly how people choose to hire you or not, right? So if I go here and I search for Dallas plumber, and oftentimes, right, people with 3 stars right here won't appear here. But if they were like a 3-star review guy here, I would just call this one or this one, even though it's slower. Okay, so reviews do play a big, big part. And later on, I'll go over exactly how you can get more reviews faster with a proper way. So first things first, are clients using photos in their reviews? Now, I get that this is hard, right? But if you have a system in place to ask for reviews, right? If you're asking, you might as well just say, hey, listen, why not attach the photo that I'm going to send you? Why not attach a photo of this, I don't know, this toilet that I fixed for you, or this lawn that I mowed for you? Just attach a picture and write a review. And oftentimes nowadays, when you go to restaurants, right, at least myself as a tourist in different countries, right, even before I stand up, right, after I have dinner or lunch, right, they ask me, hey, can you get a review? And they ask me to take a picture of the restaurant, right, and leave a review on the spot. And the reason why I say this is because hopefully I can find here a business. Let's see, this one has 15,000 reviews down here, so this should have some, at least some with pictures. Let's see here, sort. I cannot do this right. Okay, so pictures, there you go. And you'll notice that, of course, reviews with pictures show up first always, right? They show up top always, right? Because, again, a review is a signal for Google. A review with a picture is an even bigger signal, right? This client was happy. He wrote this whole big review and even added a photo to the review, right? Again, not to say, of course, that reviews with photos always rank first. For example, this one doesn't have a photo, right? But it ranks first because most likely this one is 6 days ago. This one is a month ago. Now, something else that comes into play is local guide reviews, but we'll talk on that later on because this review was posted by a local guide, right? This one right here was posted from a quote-unquote regular account, which only has 2 reviews, right? This local guide account has 16 reviews. So the weight from local guides, one review, we could say it this way, right? One review from this James McKee local guide has more weight than quote unquote a normal review, but more on that later on. And so again, if you can, ask for photos, because me as a client, as a customer, if this was for example a plastic surgery clinic, right? I would go through here and see, what did this guy think about? Oh, there's a picture here for the before and after. There's a picture here of the clinic, right? These things do play a big part when customers make decisions. And also, right, they're a ranking factor because you got to remember, right, these things right here, right, these are our listings, right? These are living, think of this as living entities, okay? And Google will always value, i.e. rank higher the ones that quote unquote live the most. So think about it as like a baby, right? You got to feed it reviews. You got to feed it posts, which we'll go over all that. You got to feed it Q&As. You got to feed it things from social media, right? And the reviews have to have pictures, have to be 5-star reviews, have to have keywords sprinkled in the reviews, which we'll talk about later on. So the more little signals you can give Google, right? Videos, images, all this, Google will tell you, okay, so this living entity, right? This quote unquote baby is being fed a lot. It's growing, right? We notice this because people are leaving reviews, not just reviews, but reviews with actual keywords in there, 5-star reviews, reviews with pictures, reviews with videos, right? People and customers from this business go out of their way to add photos to the reviews, right? Which again, not a lot of people do. Okay. Again, I know I'm harping a lot on this stuff, but very, very important. If you can get them to use photos, make sure to do so, because you'll notice that not a lot of people do this, and it is a ranking factor for Google, and for me as a customer, it is a good thing to see. Now, do you have local guide reviews? Now, local guide accounts are these ones right here, right? James McKee. Hopefully I can open up this profile right here. Okay, so a local guide account is essentially an account that left a ton of reviews and it's trusted in Google's eyes. Now, you can buy these reviews. I don't necessarily recommend you buy reviews, but if you just do a quick Google search on Google for buy Google local guide account reviews or buy Google local guide accounts, you can buy these accounts and you can buy these reviews. I don't recommend it, okay? But just know that if you want, you can. And the thing again about this is that Google trusts, right? There's a reason why they're called local guide level 4 in this case, and they have this little badge. It's because Google trusts their judgment more, or a little bit more at least, than a quote-unquote regular Google account that never left a review, right? So if this guy has left multiple reviews here in Germany, right, for businesses all around, right, multiple plumbers, multiple whatever, right, Google knows, okay, I can trust this guy. This is a real person, goes over their way to write reviews, for local businesses, they're real, so I trust their judgment. So again, they will not only put and push their reviews higher, right, but they'll add an extra weight to them. So that's why a lot of people buy these accounts to do reviews. Again, I don't recommend you buy them, but just know that if you can get local guide reviews, that'd be ideal. Now, again, you might be asking, okay, sure, this is great, but how do I know the people reviewing my business have local guide accounts? Well, you don't necessarily know, right? The only advantage here would be to buy these accounts or buy these reviews, which, I mean, if you want, just leave a comment down below and I'll give you my link where I used to buy these accounts and reviews, so I can send it over to you, okay? Now, very important. how to write reviews. Like it's not just about having reviews, right? It's about how you write them. You got to make sure you sprinkle in keyword and location. What do I mean by this? Let me just go over here, a quick review. For example, let's go with this one. Okay, so this review right here, as you see here, right? We want to sprinkle in, they sprinkled in Milestone Company. So this is the brand name. This is a brand name, okay? So first things first, added keyword. Branded keyword, okay? Let's see more here. Okay, Texas, right? Location, add a location. As I said before, right? You want to add, you're sprinkling the keywords and location, okay? Oh, just go back here, right? AC quit unexpectedly. So the issue, right? So again, it's a keyword for the problem, keyword for the issue, right? HVAC system, keyword again, keyword, right? And it's sprinkled all throughout, right? They're sprinkling the keyword plus location. And this goes a long way. So a review that just says, hey, great service, we'll come back again, is not giving Google enough knowledge about what this person went there for, their experience, their location, exactly what the business did for them. So a review where they include the business name, the location, multiple keywords, so AC unit, HVAC system, even the person, right? How they feel about it, right? Again, the company. So this gives so much more context to Google. And again, your whole goal is to give Google as much context as possible. So this, again, this is a living entity. Feed it reviews, right? Reviews with photos, reviews with keywords in there, reviews with locations in there, right? Photos, videos, right? Social posts, which we'll go over again later on, right? But this is very important. Not just having reviews, but having the right amount of reviews. And if you're asking for reviews, or when you're asking for reviews, right, make sure to say, hey, listen, just mention the company name, please. And if you can, please just mention the service we did for you, right? And just saying that little phrase, quick phrase, right? If they're already willing to leave a review, right, just by saying this, you will change completely how they write it and the impact it has on your business, okay? And you'll notice that going around through multiple businesses and clicking around and seeing the reviews, right, you'll notice that oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, the businesses with less reviews, right, but the reviews being more optimized in terms of the keyword and the location that's written inside, right, tend to sometimes rank higher. Again, I need to emphasize this, right? It's not just because you have reviews with keywords and locations in there that you're going to rank higher, but it is a ranking factor. And our goal is to tackle all of these ranking factors one by one to increase our chances of outranking our competitors, okay? So very, very important. Now, how are you replying to reviews? This is, again, super important, right? You don't want to have reviews that are unanswered. You need to answer every single review. And then you shouldn't be answering them, hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed the service. Please come back. No, that's dumb, right? You should sprinkle in your keyword and location. So here's an example, right, of what you should be doing, right? Hey, address the person. Thank you for the 5-star review. Me and the whole team over at, boom, here's an opportunity to include your business name. So relevancy, right? We're glad we could help you with the, boom, exact match keyword. So add your service, roofing installation, roofing repair, AC repair, HVAC, a plumbing issue, rhinoplasty, whatever it is, right? This, again, gives you more context, gives the whole review, right, more context of who you are, right, who the person was, who the business is, the service you did for them, right? And again, there's another opportunity here to add the business name. Now, you don't need to write exactly this, right? You can even be longer or shorter, right? Just make sure that you add relevancy, right? Because if you're just replying, thank you so much, right? Or even just not replying, right? It won't do much for you, right? So any opportunity you have to add relevancy in terms of keywords for the services, right, and location, you need to do that, okay? Very, very important. And you'll notice here that a lot of these guys, if I go here to reviews, right, they answer the reviews, not just with the thank you, but thank you, address the name, we're thrilled to hear such a positive experience with our team, boom, names, right? I wouldn't even add here the service they did, right? They didn't add the service, right? They should be adding the service, they should be adding the name of the business, which they don't, right? So this isn't perfect. It's good, right? Because they're answering the reviews, right? But it is not perfect, right? You just say honest service, right? Tell them, hey, here's what we did. Here's where we went. Here's our company name, over and over and over and over again. Very, very important. This, again, goes a long way. And again, I know these are little small things, right? But all these little small things will guaranteed add up to making sure that your listing is as optimized as we can. Now, very important, are you displaying the reviews on your site as well? So are you leveraging third-party reviews like TripAdvisor, Yelp, or Facebook? So what do I mean by this? So if you go here, for example, again, overgoing this example right here, you'll see that on these listings, when you click it, right, there's the Google reviews, right, which are the standard ones. Then there's a link to Yelp, right? And then there's, for example, here reviews from Customer Lobby, so not Google. And then there's some that appear here from Facebook, from Yelp, TripAdvisor. So Google, what they do is they pull in all, so this is Google, they pull in all the reviews from as many review sites as they can. Yelp, TripAdvisor, Google itself, right? Facebook, right? They pull them all and display them here. And so your goal is not just to have reviews on Google, it's to have them on all the other platforms. And we'll talk about this later on, right? But to have reviews on other platforms, you need to have your business, listed on those other platforms. So create a Yelp page, create a Facebook business page, create all these pages. Again, we'll go over later on that later on, which are called citations, okay? But for now, just know that Google will aggregate reviews from multiple sites, not just Google itself, here, okay? And so what you want to do to help as well Google know, okay, we can add these reviews here, is on your site. Let me see if these guys do it. Just open up their site right here. You go to, usually they have it here. I don't see these guys having it, so let's see here. If I click here, okay, perfect. Let me see if they have something here. Yeah, again, this is not ideal, right? They have, the page is a bit broken. They have some of the reviews here in this little thing, right? But they don't have a link back to the source where the review was left, right? There's not enough data here. So let me just try and find one. I'll pause the video here for a second. I found another one here, but again, not ideal. So they do have a section for testimonials, right? But there's no link to the source, right? There's the name, yes, there's a review, there's the image, but you need a link to the source. That's the only way Google will add these reviews and will pull them in, right, to the listing right here. Again, not the only way, but it's a surefire way that you can have Google do it. So have the reviews on Yelp, on Facebook, TripAdvisor as well. Then you compile all of these, add them to your site on a /testimonials page, right, with a picture, image, review, right, picture, image, review, right. Of course, a link to maybe to Yelp, a link to Facebook, so a link to where the review originates from, right. Have a testimonial page with all of these reviews, even from Google as well, from all your sites. Aggregate the reviews in your website. If you're using WordPress, surely there's plugins that do this, so don't worry about it. If not, just do it manually, okay? But do this. Have a page on your site where you aggregate testimonials. This oftentimes happens with plastic surgery clinics. Let me just try and find this one right here real quick. If we can find here some testimonials. Yeah, okay, so they don't do it. So it is something that people lack and don't do, and this has two benefits of doing it. First one is, again, Google will know, okay, these guys have these reviews, right? And I know that they have all of them present on their site, plus all these platforms, so they aggregate the reviews on the listing. And secondly, right, if I'm a customer, I'm going here, right, I want to see reviews. I want to go to the site, right? Because maybe I haven't went here and just clicked call or directions and went to the clinic. I just went to the website. I want to see testimonials. I want to see reviews. I want to see like real people going here. I don't see this right now. And a lot of people like suffer from this. They don't do this on their sites. So display your reviews on the sites as well. And even if you don't have reviews on other websites like Yelp or whatever, just, for example, this guy right here could just take the reviews I have, right here, right? And just copy this, right? Screenshot the name, whatever, and post it here on the site on a testimonial page. Again, this goes a long way. First, because as a customer, I go to the site and I can see real reviews from real people. And secondly, it is a ranking factor and will help your site rank higher on Google because you're displaying and aggregating all your reviews in your site. Okay, so that's that, right? Now, GMB Essentials or GMP, right? GBP, right? So I put this all here, but essentially what this is in your dashboard for the GBP, you just fill all this stuff in, right? Every single thing and every single input there is to fill in your GBP, fill it in. If Google asks for it, just put it there. Okay. Description of the business, links to the bookings, to the contacts page right here, right, to the website, to the appointments. So that you can add two links. You can add the phone, you can add the appointments, which can link to your site. So add every single thing Google lets you add. Okay. Business hours, payment methods, the short name, any single thing, right? You add it up. Okay, because you need to give Google as many signals, as I said before, you need to give Google as many signals as you possibly can. Okay, don't leave any space to be filled. And I'm not going to show you the dashboard because it can change, but in your GBP dashboard, right, in your Google Business Dashboard, make sure that every single field is set up and properly optimized. So if it is a business description, add all the words they're allowed to add, right? Optimize it, put your keywords in there, put your services in there, put your locations in there, okay? Make sure to optimize it, very important. Now, final thing here, NAP, so that stands for name, address, and phone number. This must be consistent across the whole internet. That is your website footer, your contacts page, your citations, and your listing as well. So what I mean by this is if I go here, right, and if this, I click this right here, and the address is this, right, on Google, right, I want to make sure that when I go on the site, right, I see the exact same address, name of the business, and phone number. So let me just see and check, right, if I go scroll down here, it's not very well done because there should be like, you should be here in the footer, not like this, not scrolling around. It should be in the footer, like, because if you put it in the footer, it appears on every single page, which doesn't happen here. Okay, so if I go here to contact, right, again, nothing wrong with this business. I'm just like giving you my take. 214, let's see, 214-821. Now, okay, so that's perfect. It's coherent, okay, the same phone number. The name, yeah, that's the same thing, MD. Okay, perfect, they added MD, okay. And then let's see here, that's the same one. I wouldn't add two numbers, this might confuse Google. And the address, I don't see the address here anywhere. Maybe I'm missing it, but if I'm not finding it right now, it must be not clear. So again, not a best example, but a good example in this sense, because you gotta make sure it's consistent. So anything and everything you put here, so excuse me, here in terms of the name of the business, the address, and the phone number needs to be consistent all across your website, your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, whatever, right? Any citation needs to be consistent all around. You don't want to confuse Google, because if you confuse it, if Google doesn't know who you are, what you do, or is confused about which phone number it is, right, you'll have trouble, right? Because Google needs to be coherent and needs you to provide them with as much coherent information as possible, okay? Very important. Now, this brings me to GMB posting, or let's do GBP posting, okay? GBP posting, which is something a lot of people overlook because not a lot of them want to do it, right? Which is this right here. So when I go here, right, let me just do plumber Dallas, because usually plumbers, because it's more of a hands-on service, they usually publish a lot of posts. So let's see here. Okay, there we go. So this listing right here, as you see, right, there's a post here. This is a GMB post. Now, this was posted a long time ago, 13th of August, right? There's one here, there's one in July, another one in July, right? One in June. So not a lot of consistency here. They were doing it, but then they stopped, right? And this is very, very important, right? You want to, again, think about your GBP, right, as a living entity. Again, you want to feed it reviews, the way we just talked about. And now you want to feed it posts, right? Posts. Very, very important. Now, you want to make sure that you're posting several times a week, plus they're fully optimized. And what I mean by fully optimized is they link to your site. They link to citations. Maybe they interlink between each other. You want to make sure that they have your keywords sprinkled in the description, the biz name, in the post photo. So again, if you can, right, this is a very simple like post, right? Super short description, no link to anywhere, so no link, right? Not a branded image, should have like a logo here at least, like a logo, right? Right, should be within the business name, because Google reads images. So if you post an image, it has some text, excuse me, Google can read the image. Again, a little ranking factor. If Google sees, okay, there's all these posts from this business, and all of them say plumber Dallas, plumber Dallas, plumber Dallas, plumber Dallas, right? Google will know, okay, all of these posts are mega relevant for this keyword in this location. Again, another little thing that can improve your listings rankings. Again, this isn't very well done. It is good that they're posting, because a lot of people don't post, but it's not enough, right? Not enough of a big description. You can create several types of posts, right? Some of them you can link, so you should be interlinking the posts, right? You should be linking to your website, you should be linking to your contacts page, you should be linking to citations, right? There's ways in which you can optimize your posts. Now, you'll notice that you might not have to do all this stuff. The reason why I say this is that you have to look at the competition and what the top 5 guys are doing, right? These guys are doing posts, so it's good, right? Let's see if these guys are doing posts. Yeah, these guys are doing posts too, and these are much more optimized, right? There's a lot more. There's a link to the blog post that talks about this GBP post. So very well done. Again, with a call to action down here. So this is more well thought out, right? Learn more, there's links, right? There's links. Okay, I would brand the images though, but this is a good thing. There's offer posts because Google also allows you to do offer posts. Again, like I said, there's multiple types of posts, and they're somewhat being consistent with it. July, August, December. So yeah, they're being consistent with it, and this is what you want to do, right? You want to take a look. Firstly, you want to start posting. Then you want to take a look at how many posts your competitors are doing, and then you do at least what they're doing plus some more. You never want to do less. You need to do at least the number they're doing, if not more. Okay, that's how you win. The way you win is you do what they're doing plus some more, the right way. Okay. Again, this will depend, the frequency will depend on a niche. For example, plastic surgeons usually do way less because it's more of a protected industry. You cannot really post photos of people up here. I think you cannot really promote, at least in the US, you cannot really promote before and afters in these types of places. But there's stuff you can do. You can promote blog posts, you can promote all this other stuff. And again, this will be a ranking factor because Google sees, okay, this business is posting every single day. They're linking to blog posts about this service. They're linking to offers they have about this product, right? They're getting reviews. It is a super hyper mega living entity, right? It's getting so much interaction that Google has no choice but ranking it higher because they see, okay, this is actually a real business. Getting posts, getting reviews with photos. Again, all this plays a huge part in getting your business ranked higher. Again, you won't necessarily mean you're going to rank higher because there's a bunch of factors here. But again, our goal is to get to and try and nail every single one of these factors. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense so far. Now, big one, business photos and videos. Right? Again, you'll notice here that all these businesses have a lot of photos, inside videos by the owner, 360 views. Right? This goes and plays a big part in me as a customer. So if I do Dallas Plumber here again, right? When I click the business right here, the first thing I see in big are the photos. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're posting photos and videos, and you want to make sure that you post as many as your competitors are posting. It's all about, again, like I said before in the beginning, about analyzing the competition, seeing what they're doing and doing better and more. Okay, so how many times are they uploading photos? With how much frequency? Are they stock photos? If you're doing stock photos, please stop, right? Firstly, because Google knows what stock photos are. They can read the EXIF data from the images, and that won't bring you anything, right? It won't be any beneficial. You'll only be detrimental. And me as a customer, if I go here and if I see stock photos, right, I would just say, this isn't this isn't a real business. I don't like. We as customers, and I think you can share this opinion. We don't trust stock photos. If you're a real business, why are you using stock photos, right? So don't use stock photos, please. Okay, very important. Now, do prioritize faces and branding over like jobs, over like stuff like let me see here, over stuff like, for example, over stuff like this, right? This is good, but don't prioritize this. Don't make sure that these stuff doesn't appear at top. Make sure stuff like this, faces, right? Faces, branding appears first. Why? Because of course, like people buy from people. They know, like, and trust. And branding builds trust. And faces build feel like people know and like you, right? They start liking you, right? Again, branding on the trucks. If you have branded trucks, post them up here, right? This conveys much more trust than a company that has like no branding at all, right? Faces, right? I see faces here of the actual guys that will come to my house. There's branding here. There's coherent branding right here. This one, it could be a bit more branding, but you get my point, right? Make sure that you prioritize faces and branding, right? Now, upload short engaging videos, because you'll notice that when you click a listing right here, right? Even if you don't click the videos, right, they start playing. And this like just catches your eye so early, right? If I click this, nothing here moves. Even though there's branding, yes, but nothing here moves. If I click here, oh, whoa, what's this, right? My eyes are instantly drawn here. And if there was the person speaking in the first second, it would be my eyes would have even been drawn faster, because we as humans, like our eyes are attracted to faces. So add these short videos. They go a long way, and these are all little small factors, but they do play a big part in this. So add like short, engaging 36-second videos highlighting your products, services, or testimonials. It's a big one, right? Like I said before, videos play even if you don't click them, which is huge. This is huge. Such an unfair advantage, and not a lot of people do it, right? Not a lot of people do this. It's such an insane and unfair advantage. Okay. Now, optimize your video file names and descriptions with keywords. So before you upload the video to Google My Business, like change the file name for whatever it is. So if you're uploading a testimonial, just name the file. testimonial for plumbing company in Dallas, right? A photo as well, right? Plumber in Dallas service, right? Name the actual file name and make sure to sprinkle in location and again keywords, right? Again, you'll see a pattern here. Anytime and anywhere you can like sprinkle in your keywords, right? Make sure you do it. Also geotag your photos, right? With the location to enhance relevancy. Now, some people argue that this doesn't work. I prefer to do everything. I prefer to do it as well. Because I think it plays a big part. When you're uploading photos, make sure to edit if you just go online, Google geolocation or geotag images online for free, there's a bunch of tools that offer this. So do this as well, right? Basically saying, hey, listen, this photo was took here in Dallas, Texas, and this is a Dallas, Texas business, okay? That was a big part. Now, business name, keyword stuffing in the business title. So you'll notice, let me see if I can find some here, right? Some people will name their business actually Dallas Plumbers. There we go. Dallas Plumbing. So the business name is the actual keyword people search for, right? And this guy has an advantage over, for example, this one, Dial Johnson Dallas Plumbing, right? This is even wrong, right? Surely this isn't their business name. Like supposedly according to Google's guidelines, you need to name your listing the business name. And these guys, what they're doing here is they're keyword stuffing the plumbing and they're hitting AC, excuse me. Unless their business name is actually this, but most likely the business name isn't this. And so you can pause the video here and read this. But in essence, what this says is you can keyword stuff your business in the title. So you can do, for example, business name and then Plumber Dallas, right? Or for example, if my business name was The Brothers and then Plumber Dallas, right? So my actual business name was this, but then I just keyword stuff my keyword here. You can do this and just pause the video here to read this. It is risky. People can report you. You can report people for this, but just know you can do it, and you will see a great advantage when you've because usually businesses that have their keyword in the title usually rank higher. Same thing with exact match domain. So a website called DallasPlumbers.com usually tends to rank higher and easily for the same keywords than a business that does the exact same thing, but their domain, right, isn't DallasPlumber.com, but it's like TheBrothersPlumbing.com, right? So you can do this at your own risk. Please read this, but keyword stuffing it is against Google's terms of service, but it does give you such an unfair advantage, okay? Just know that EMD stands for exact match domain. This stands for keyword, okay? So moving on to business Q&A. Big one right here. So if I go here to a listing again, I can go here and scroll down, and there's this one doesn't have it actually. Let me just open this one. Let's see here. And if I open, for example, this one right here, you'll see that there are questions right here. So these guys have quite a few. 2 weeks ago. So this, because it's always the same person, I assume it's someone from the actual business doing it. Yeah, it's all this Catherine lady, right? Yeah, exactly. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you optimize your Q&A section. Again, are they fully optimized for keywords and location? How many Q&As are you posting a week? Are they syndicating these to their website? So it's similar to the reviews, right? Where we talked about all this, right? Are you fully optimizing? So are your answers to the questions, right, optimized with the keywords in mind? So if someone asks for this right here, right, let me just go here, right? Someone asks, what's the best way to reduce my energy bills, right? Using programmable terms. Okay, so this has some thought in it. So there's some keywords, right, sprinkled here. I would then say as well, hey, you can give us a call at our business name that's located in this city, right, to get solved and do all this keyword, right, issues for you. So sprinkle them even more, right? Make sure to do the best and make the most out of this, both in the answers and if you can, right, you can use your own Google account to ask your own questions, which is what these guys are doing right here, right? You can ask your own questions and answer your own questions. Ask your questions, right, with keywords in mind. So this is, I think these guys are actually doing this, right? Replace my HVAC, right? Reduce energy bills. So it's sort of, they're optimizing because they're the ones apparently posting the questions. They're optimizing the questions as well as the answers for keyword sprinkling in there. Hopefully this made sense so far. So for the Q&As, both the questions and the answers, you want to make sure that they're optimized for keywords and locations, okay? Now, just like the reviews, are you syndicating into this site as well? Q&As is very important to have on the site, right? Let's say this guy's right here. I don't think they have it, right? But a Q&A section, right, is very, very important for two reasons, okay? Very first thing, right, the Q&A section, just like the reviews, just like the section 4 on your site for the testimonials, where it has face, name, review or testimonial and a link, right? Face, name, review or testimonial and a link, right? A page for Q&A, right, /Q&A or FAQs, right, which has a question right here and then your answer. Again, another question and then your answer. Not only is good for user experience, so a user coming to your site that's maybe not very knowledgeable about plastic surgery, for example, how long does a rhinoplasty last? How much does it cost? Are there any complications, right? They can go here and read it. And secondly, this page will have so much info about specific things about your business that it will make sure that your site is hyper relevant, right, for all the keywords you put in here. So in terms of SEO, not necessarily for Google Maps, but for like the regular quote unquote SEO that appears right on here, right? These types of listings right here, the non-local listings. This is very important because again, this page is going to be very optimized and very relevant for all your business keywords, issues, services, right? So having a Q&A on your site again not only is good for customers, but it's good for SEO purposes, right? Because this page is going to be insanely powerful and relevant and have an insane amount of valuable info that Google will take and make sure you're ranking your site higher for that. So very important. Hopefully this makes sense so far, right? Now, this one right here is just about addressing the common customer concerns with pre-written Q&A, so you can go into your listing and actually write the questions and then also give the answers, right? So that's that. In case you don't have any questions to answer by default, right? And again, make sure to add them just like you do with the reviews. Add the Q&As to your site, to a dedicated page. Okay, super important. And by the way, speaking of this, right, the reviews, because they also have keywords there, both in the review, right? This page is also going to become relevant in Google's eyes for these keywords and services and location, making your whole site as a whole, because these are 2 pages on your site, making the site, your website as a whole, more relevant for all this stuff, making it rank higher on Google, and in turn making your GBP rank higher on Google as well. So it's all tied in, okay? Now, some advanced strategies before we finish off this part is lead tracking. So if you want to see like who people that came in through your posts, right? You can add UTM tags on your GBP's posts to track the performance in Google Analytics. It's a bit more advanced, but if you want to do that, if you're doing a lot of posts and you're not sure of which posts people are coming in, which posts are more optimized, which posts are driving sales, if any, right? You can just do this, pretty straightforward. Competitor spam reporting. So this is tied in with what I wrote here, which is basically if competitors are using black hat techniques like keyword stuffing or fake reviews, you can report them to Google, right? To essentially get ahead. Now, you're not reporting them for with a bad intent. They're doing bad things like black hat SEO tactics, and they're ranking above you. So you report them because they're doing bad things, and now they go away and you rank above them. So you can report them for spamming, and this could be beneficial in your case. Backlink integration, so you can encourage backlinks from local directories or community sites to strengthen the authority of your listing. Now, we'll talk a bit more about this later on, about getting backlinks from local sources, so don't worry about it. These are a bit more advanced strategies. Last 3 ones, which we'll talk about, schema markup. So very important. We have a section on this course solely about schema markup. So I'm just want to add it here. So just so you know that we're going to be talking about it. So adding local business schema to the website to enhance search engine understanding of your business, because schema essentially is like a little snippet of code that makes Google understand your business way better and faster. And this can go a long way because most businesses don't have schema set up. So if you set it up, it's like an unfair advantage. Local landing pages. Actually, before this, citation audit. So we'll go over the citations, what they are, how you do them. So looking again at your competition, doing an audit of what they have and how you can replicate them and which ones you should be replicating. Then local landing pages. This is a big one, which I'll show you here an example. This is a website I used to own here in Portugal for local drainage. It's Portuguese, but I guess you can understand what it is for, like plumbers, right? If you go here to service areas, there's all these service areas, right? And each one of them had dedicated pages to them. So this is for this place in the city. This is for this place in the city. So this is from Lisbon. Like Lisbon is the capital of Portugal, right? As you know, right? And it's divided in multiple sort of boroughs, so like this, multiple boroughs. And so what I did is I went here and I created all of these service areas based on these boroughs. And even then you'll see that there's a lot, right? Way more than there are here. It's because these ones then are subdivided into even more. And so I created firstly pages for all these ones, right? And then sub-service areas, as you see here, okay? And so all these are location relevant. So local landing page, optimized local landing page, linked to GMP for relevant keywords and user experience. So what I mean by this is you create on your site these local landing pages. So this is a bad translation. It should be, essentially it is plumbing for this place, right? I wrote the article about what this place is. So drainage in this place. So essentially these landing pages are dedicated, even with a dedicated video, for this place in specific. So for even added a map, right, to make sure that this is hyper relevant, right? This page is hyper relevant for this location. So I have hyper relevant pages for each one of these locations. And these pages have an H1 with the service plus the location, a video embed, a map embed. They have photos of the place. They have some short, brief history about the place, right? You see here, it's in English, but I guess in Portuguese, but I guess you can understand, right? This talks about the place, right? This one talks about the place as well, or different photo, right? Links to Wikipedia pages of these places, of these sort of boroughs. Hopefully this is making sense. So creating dedicated landing pages for each one of your service areas, but don't just like duplicate these, right? Make sure they're hyper relevant for the location you're in by adding map embeds, videos, talking a little bit about the city or the borough, right? This makes sure that this page is hyper relevant for this location. It will rank above any other page of anyone that just does a generic one, right? Because this is hyper relevant. So you can do these hyper relevant pages for different boroughs. Hopefully this made sense so far. And so again, this is, I guess, the introduction for right now. So hopefully you've went through all this. What I suggest is watch the video again, go through all these listings again, checklists again, and see what your competition is doing, how you can emulate, and then how you can do it better. Okay, so that's it. Let's get going. Okay, so now I want to talk about the 3 P's of Google Maps SEO, which are prominence, proximity, and relevance. And in essence, these are the 3 little factors that will tell you how high a listing ranks on Google My Business, or Google Maps, excuse me. And what this is essentially is, starting with the bottom one, relevancy. So of course, if you search for dog care clinic on Google, a rhinoplasty clinic will not appear. If you search for plumber in Dallas, a plumber in Portugal won't appear. So the relevance of the search, of course, has an impact on which businesses will show up here. So of course, you got to make sure that your business is optimized for whichever keywords you think your potential customers will be searching for. Okay, and we went over already how to optimize the listing, but again, very important. The relevancy is one of the three important factors here, because again, relevancy plays a big part. Then of course, proximity, right? If I'm searching for something, I live down here, and I search for a dentist, whatever, right? The businesses close by will have a boost and show a bit higher than a business maybe here far away. Again, not to say that these ones cannot show first, right? They can sometimes. They can even show up top sometimes, right? But there is a proximity factor here, right? Again, businesses like from a different US state won't appear when I search just for dentist, right? Or when I search for just plastic surgery. So the proximity from where the users search for and the businesses there nearby play a big part. That's why with, for example, plumbers, where you go to where the actual businesses go to your location, they have location service areas. So when you're doing and creating your listing, if you're a business that actually goes out to the client, don't put your office's location, put in your service areas, okay? But for example, if you're a dog grooming clinic or a plastic surgery clinic, people searching nearby your clinic will have and will be shown your clinic more often than other clinics. Again, that's not just the only thing, because there's relevancy involved and there's prominence, right? There's how, quote unquote, let's use this word, how famous you are, like how many reviews you have, how many photos you have on your listing, what's your social media looking like, what's your site's ranking looking like, so how famous or how authoritative you are in Google's eyes, how your SEO is doing. Again, your SEO, and SEO is a big topic right here, and a big word, because it encompasses a lot of things. Like, do you have a lot of presence on social, right? Do they have a lot of rankings for blog posts on Google? So do they have a presence on YouTube? So the prominence of the brand, who you are as a brand. And so I wanted to add this part right here, because these are the three main factors. They do branch out into a bunch of different little things, which we talked about and we'll talk about more in the future. But again, I just wanted to give you this part right here, because it's very important. Oftentimes people overlook and they just think it's just one thing. No, it's all three. Okay, so that's the little thing I want to mention here. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now I want to talk about GBP posts, and it's very important because, as you know, right, we have to think about our listing, right, our GBP listing as a living entity, right? This is an entity, right? We feed, as I said before, with reviews. We feed with Q&As. We feed, in this case, with posts, right? We feed with social. We feed this with every single thing we can, which I go over in this course, right? And then the reviews, right? We feed proper reviews with customer images, sprinkle in keywords. You know the drill, right? I've already went over this. But again, my point is that think of it as a living entity, right? And when we're doing this post right here, this business made a post like 2 hours ago, right? When we're doing these, right? This helps helps Google understand that, okay, this business is posting every single day or every other day about whatever it is that they're posting about. So they're active, right? Google likes active businesses, okay? And so this is by default, right? We need to do posts. We need to be posting stuff, okay? And fully optimized, as I said before, which I'll go over again. But then we have to make the most of it, which, because the GMB posts, they link, right? You can have links, as you know, right? You can have links from the posts, right? To learn more. This goes to their website, most likely, right? Goes to their website, right? You can have links to your money site, your GMB listing or JBP listing, like to your socials. You can link to anything you want, right? So stick with me here, because all gonna make sense, right? And because you can link to these assets, right, you own as well, right? You can build links to your GBP posts, right? Build it there. And then the link juice is transferred over to these entities right here. So you're building tier 2, or in this case, tier 3 links to your site. This is linking to your site. Maybe it's linking to your listing, which then links to your site. Maybe it's linking to your socials or whatever, which then links to your site again. So you're creating this linking, you're starting a backlinking, or you're starting essentially a local linking flywheel to some extent. Now, if you want to do some black hat stuff, you can even do Bitly, or you can do shorteners. So you can just transform this into a short link, which this has a high DR, so domain rating, okay, and then make it redirect to your links. Now, if you want me to dive a bit more into this black hat strategy, I can, but as of now, let's just keep it simple, okay? So you need to build links, because again, these posts, right, link to your website, or to your properties, which can then link to your website. Now, I want to show you, right, how to build these links and what other types of links there are. Because it's very, very important, right? Link building or backlink building, you might have heard about this, is very important, right? Because SEO has 3 main pillars, right? On-page SEO, off-page SEO, okay? And technical SEO, okay? On-page is essentially everything that happens on your site. The content you write, what you write about, how you write, the keywords you use, the images you use, etc. The internal linking structure, external linking structure, everything happens on your site, okay? Off-page is essentially link building or backlink building, okay? So if you don't know what a link is let's say right here we have Wikipedia, right here we have Huffington Post, right here we have bbc.com, right? And this is your website, right? And these guys, maybe they write an article about plumbers, right? And they link back to you. Maybe Wikipedia has a page about plumbing, and it has a link on the article back to you. Huffington Post has a link back to you. So these are backlinks. So links, backlinks or links, it's an interchangeable term, right? And we'll go over how to get them again. But the more backlinks you have from the more trustworthy sources, the better your off page is going to be. Okay. Now, you can have the best off page in the world and the best on page in the world, but if your technical SEO is bad, you will never rank. Technical SEO is like the boring stuff like schema markup, which we'll go over in this course as well, right? It's the site speed, it's the meta tags, right? Let me give you an example. There's a bunch more stuff, right? Site speed. If your site is super slow, let's say, for example, someone searches for something on Google, right? And you're right here ranking first. These are all your competitors down here. People search for stuff, they click your site, then it takes like 10 seconds to load, right? What's going to happen is that people eventually are going to get tired of waiting and then just click off and click the second result. And if they do this enough times, right, eventually you're going to just go down and they'll overtake you. So this is just an example on how important each one of these three pillars is, because you cannot succeed in SEO without all three, okay? I know this was a bit of a tangent here, but we'll go over all this in a second here. Okay, so again, I want to go over how to build these links, why they're important, and all the types of links there are. So I'm going to play here a clip from a different course of mine, which I recorded in the past, but it's very much applies to this, right? And so let's go over exactly how to do this right now. Now I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do, every single thing in detail to learn how to build backlinks and how to build backlinks for your business, right? So let's get it. First things first, what are backlinks, why they're important, and what are good backlinks? So first things first, right? Why backlinks? Actually, before that, what's a backlink? Essentially, if this is your site, right? This is your site, right? And this is Forbes, and you have an article that talks about cats, and Forbes has an article that talks about cats, they link to you. This is a backlink, right? Okay, pretty simple. A backlink is a link from another site to yours, okay? That's a backlink, okay? Now, why backlinks? Backlinks are, without a doubt, a ranking factor, meaning the more backlinks you have, the higher you rank on Google. Now, there's a lot of nuance to it, which I'll cover in detail here, but that's the basis, okay? The more backlinks you have, the higher you rank on Google. Now, you need quality and relevant backlinks, okay? The ideal backlink, again, is one that's coming from a high quality source, okay? So for example, Forbes, not a blogger or blogspot, right? And relevant as well, right? You want links coming from relevant sources. For example, if you have a site about motorcycles, you want quality backlinks from motorcycle related sites, okay? Relevancy plays a big part, okay? Not just the quality of the link, but the relevancy too, okay? And backlinks essentially increase trust and relevance in Google's eyes. That's why you rank higher on Google. Because if Google sees, okay, this website is getting a ton of links, ton of mentions on Forbes, on Huffington Post, and on TechCrunch, it must mean that they are doing something right? Backlinks convey trust, and that's why you rank higher on Google when you build backlinks. Pretty simple. Now, I won't dive too deep right now into the anchor text, but essentially the anchor text is, and I'll dive deep, trust me, into this, is on a post, right? You have a post written, right? A blog post. One of the words that you can click to go to the other site, that's called the anchor text, right? There's a couple types of anchor text. There's naked URLs, which is just your URL, right? Different versions of it. There's branded anchors, which is your business name, okay? In capital letters or not. There's exact match anchors, which is the exact anchor text or the exact keyword you want to rank for example, plumber Dallas. And partial match or long-tailed versions of your keywords, which is find a quality plumber in Dallas, okay? There's also generic, which is click here, learn more, visit our site, but I'll dive deep into this after. This is just an introduction, okay? Now, linking structure. Why? Actually, let's go here, okay? To this second thing. Link building, structure, and types of links. This is very important because there's a bunch of types of links, and I want to go over every single one of them because it's super important that you understand what the type of links are and how to place each one of them. Super important. But first, link building structure. Okay, so what is this? Okay, let's say this is your site, right? Most sites are built like this. There's a home page, there's a couple of services page, there's a contact page, maybe there's a blog page, and maybe there's some product pages, right? Now, ideally, most backlinks should come to your homepage, right? Why? Because it's simply the most natural thing, right? When someone's linking out to a site, most times they link out to the homepage, right? And this is a great way to see if a site is spammy or if they're buying backlinks is most links don't come to the homepage, right? They come to other pages, but most links should come to the homepage because that's the most natural thing to do, the most natural thing to happen, okay? So you'll notice most links come to the homepage. Now, because of that, you want to make sure that the homepage interlinks with the pages you want to rank, because most times the internal pages will outrank the homepage for your keywords, because again, in specific different pages, you can target different keywords. So again, most likely the pages that are going to rank for you are these right here, not the homepage. Now, it's not to say that the homepage cannot rank, it absolutely can, but most times it won't, or most times these will outrank them. So it's very important that you interlink the homepage with the pages you want to rank so that the, let's call it link juice, flows through, so that when someone's linking out here, the link juice flows through to all of these pages. Think of it as like water. Now, again, these are called internal links because they're linking internally within your site. They need to make sense, right? You wouldn't link the contacts page with, I don't know, the terms and conditions page, right? You wouldn't link the blog page with, right? It needs to make sense. The internal linking isn't something random. It needs to make sense. And I have a couple of videos on that, but I won't dive too deep into that right now, right? It needs to make sense. And again, the linking structure is important because you got to structure this in a way that when you build backlinks to the homepage, it flows through these pages. When you build backlinks to this page right here, maybe these interlink, right? So the link juice will go from this one and not just stay on this one, will flow through to this one, okay? So it's important, again, figure out an internal linking strategy that makes sense so that when you actually build backlinks, you get the most out of the link juice, okay? Super, super important. Now, here, big one, quality link types, okay? I mean quality, I mean no PBNs. PBN stands for private blog network. Even though these work very, very well, some people are averse to it and people don't want to really do it. This is like a black hat SEO technique. Where to put it as well, other non-Google friendly links. I mean, these can be quality, and I'll show you how to build them because this is going to be a full tutorial. I'll show you how to build these links because the reality is that they work. And if you build them the way that I'm going to teach you, you can build them to be quality. But most people often think that these are quality. Just bear that in mind, okay? So what are quality links, right? Let's call these natural links as well. These are, for example, citation links. For example, if you're a local business, right? A citation link is essentially a link from a business directory. Let's call it Yelp, Foursquare, Bing, Yellow Pages, HotFrog. So again, if you have a site, you want to build backlinks to it, let's say you're a local plumber or a plastic surgery clinic in New York City, right? One type of backlink that you can build and you should be building is a citation-based link. Now, these are great because they help you build local relevancy and local authority. For example, a link from Yelp, a Yelp page is, if you've ever seen one, a Yelp page has your business photo, business name, business website, all the business contact information, some business description, and of course, a link to your site. So this listing is hyper targeted to what your business is, right? It tells people what your name is, all your contact information, your site, what you do. Also, of course, it gets indexed in Google. It's coming from a very, very authoritative domain. Yelp, right? Yelp is one of the most authoritative domains out there. So you want to make sure you list your website here, right? Again, citation, very powerful, okay? Then social media profiles, and then these are all backlinks you need to be creating, right? Your brand, whether you're a plumber, whether you're a software company, it doesn't matter what you are. If you're a brand, you need to have presence on social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, a fully branded and optimized accounts. And that's important because one of the Google ranking factors is your presence on social media, right? Because if Google sees that, okay, this brand has all these social media profiles, they're getting likes, they're getting engagement because you are posting on those profiles, they're going to think, okay, so these guys are actually active on social media. That's very important, right? Let's boost them a bit, right? Google used to be just about links and all that, but now it's more about social, right? Because people are on social media. And if people interact and if you have these properties on social media, it is seen as a good signal for Google. Now, these need, of course, to be fully branded with your logo, descriptions. I won't dive too deep on how to do it because it's quite obvious, right? Fully branded, logos, images, links, all that. And you can use this to automatically syndicate. So, for example, let's say you post something on Facebook, you can syndicate it to LinkedIn, right? You can sort of automate your social media strategy, but I won't dive too deep into this. Just know that you can do it. And also interlink, right? You want to make sure that you interlink your properties. So from YouTube, maybe you link out on your YouTube homepage to Twitter and Facebook. Same thing goes for this, right? You interlink them in a way that makes sense, just like as if you were to interlink these pages, okay? Important. Now, then we have press releases. Here's an example. I'll go over a quick example here. This, for example, is a press release coming from this site, right? Essentially, it is a news piece. They oftentimes have links, okay? This is a press release. Essentially, just know that a press release is a link on a news website, okay? And oftentimes you can buy press release blasts, which essentially will put a news about your brand, about your business, and syndicate it to over 100, 200 news outlets, okay? If you want to know how to get this done, if you go to vetted.com, VETTTED, that used to be my SEO marketplace. There's a couple of people there that can do it for you, okay? What you should be doing, you should be maximizing these. So you should embed the maps, add images, add your keywords in the title, add service areas, add keywords in the text, link to your website, of course, and link to trustworthy sources. This ties in with on-page SEO, which I won't dive into this right now. I have a couple of videos on this, right? I have actually full courses solely on on-page SEO, right? And off-page SEO too. But just know that with any link you build, right? Any content you put out, whether that's on your site or off your site, right? You need to make sure it's optimized, right? So that's important. Then this is a strategy that will dive deep into this course, right? How to essentially build the same links that your competition has. Because the idea here is that if you can look at all the links your competitors have, right? Look at all of them, categorize them all, and make a list of the best links. You replicate all the links they have, right? You do the same, and then on top of that, build some more. Your link profile will look better than theirs, and in theory, you'll outrank them. Now, there's a couple of cool links, which are, for example, very powerful links, in fact, links from local sponsorship links or charities. And the way you find these, I'll leave a link down below for all these prompts, because there's a bunch of these search prompts. For example, if I do this, right, in URL, sponsorship, NYC, right, I can find places or websites that allow me to pay them to be a sponsor for their site and show up in their domain, whether most times it is as like a footer logo. Let me see here, sponsorship here, let me see. Okay, so I can join to be a sponsor here, and most of the times the sponsors show up here in the footer or show up top or show up a dedicated sponsorship page. And oftentimes this is valuable because these sites that accept sponsorships, their domains are super, super strong. And again, like I said before, right, you want to get links from quality domains, okay, which mean powerful domains, and of course, relevant backlinks. Now, this is important, and you should be building this out. And again, I have a video solely on this, on how to build these links in specific. I'll link it down below. If I forget, please remind me. Now, guest posts, same thing. I have a video solely on this, on how to build guest posts and niche edits. Again, my goal here is not to go over exactly in detail how to build this. I have videos solely on that. I'll link it down below. But essentially, to find links for guest posting. And if you don't know, a guest post essentially is where you reach out to a website owner and tell them, listen, I want to put a link on your site to mine, right? And they go out on their site, they write a new blog post with a link and link back to yours, okay? Niche edits are where, instead of them writing a new blog post, they place a link to your site on an old blog post, okay? This is very cool, and I'll show you here a quick way in where you can find these. If we could just type this here, and in URL, right for us, and your niche, right? It can be anything you want here. Literally, it can be your niche, okay? Just type in lawyer just because. And you go through these, and for example, let's see here, lawyer source, right for us. Okay, so this is a site that is both authoritative. Let me see here if I can check the domain metrics. Let's see here, the DR43. Yeah, so it's a decent domain, decently powerful domain, and they allow you to write for them. Okay, write for us. Guest post submissions. Okay, guest post must be at 1,000 words. Must have an image. No duplicate, because they have a certain set of criteria. Just email them, and I actually have a bunch of search prompts here. Just email them, pay them, and then you have a guest post link, right? But again, if you want a more detailed video on this, solely on building these types of links and these ones, again, I have a video solely on this, which I'll link down below. If I forget, just let me know, okay? Now, you gotta notice that links have tags. And if I go here, for example, let me just do, actually, I'll show you here in this, I'll show you here this. For example, if I just do this inspect element right here, this is a do follow link, okay? If it were to be a no follow link, it would have a real equals no follow tag, okay? Now, no follow links, right? Wikipedia has no follow links. Facebook gives you no follow links. And there isn't an issue particularly in them being no follow, right? It is not bad, right? Because links from Wikipedia are good, links from Facebook are good, right? You're getting your brand name out there and Google values that. You're building up brand authority. So if you can have a link on Wikipedia, which is no follow, it's still valuable, right? Even though being no follow means that the link juice will not flow through, it is still a valuable mention of your brand online. So don't think that you just need to build do follow links. You don't. You need to have a healthy mix of do follow and no follow. Very, very important. Okay. Now, I mentioned PBN links. I'll mention them again in a second here, but you have to watch these 3 videos if you want to build PBN networks, right? This is a video on how to build a PBN network, the whole network, plus finding domains, how to find expired domains, how to build out the sites. I think it's a almost 30-minute video on how to do that. Do PBN links still work? This is a case study showing you that I built links, PBN links to my sites, and they ranked, not just me, multiple people, and how to build a PBN site that actually looks real, okay? These reviews are very, very important. I'll link them down below in the description, because if you want a proper link building strategy, which I'll go over here on how to do it, right? PBN links play a part in it, and you need to know how to build them, so go watch these videos after this one, okay? Very, very, very important, right? Now, moving on, more isn't necessarily better, right? More links doesn't mean higher rankings. And like I said before, you want to focus on quality and relevancy. And of course, if you can have a high volume of quality and relevancy, the better, right? But more links don't necessarily mean better. For example, look at this, right? These links are absolute trash. And if you're in the SEO space, in the marketing space, I'm sure you've gotten these emails from these link building gurus sending you these lists with amazing domains, with amazing traffic. This is all bot traffic. These metrics are all inflated, right? All these sites are absolute trash, right? Absolute trash. And I'll show you an example here. And the quickest way to find if they're good or not is to just open one of them. This is one of them, right? And at first glance, okay, this seems decent. Let me just check the metrics here. Okay, DR52, amazing, okay. Traffic 67, it's not really that good, but yeah, it's a decent domain, I guess. I wouldn't refuse a backlink from this site. But when you dive deep, you actually find that this and all these ones are link farms, right? What a link farm is essentially they have all the niches available, right? So they can sell as many links to as many people as possible. So they can just email blast the whole world and tell you, listen, I have this site where I can place your link in. It accepts your niche, accepts health, lawn, lifestyle. So it is essentially a link farm. So all these links right here are paid for, right? You can just click here and see that this is all paid for. And of course, it should be a link here to someone else's website, right? Of course, makes sense. But again, the thing here is that you can tell that this is all fake, right? It's all fake. They have all the niches available. The site doesn't even have real social media. Yeah, there's no social media. The contact probably is a fake email, or there's not even contact. Okay, there's a fake form right here, right? This is all fake. And this is a fake site, a fake PBN. And I do not want you to build stuff like this. This is a big mistake. It's a very, very big red flag. So watch this video right here if you want to learn how to actually build PBN links and how to make them look real. Because to make them look real, you have to have not have all the niches available, because that's the biggest red flag. Make sure it's safe, right? Make sure to have branding, have social media, active social media linked to it, right? And essentially have a real site going on, because this is bad. And don't ever build links from people that send you these lists, because you might think, okay, amazing, I'm just going to buy all of these, I'm going to rank first. And this is where the quality over quantity comes in. These links are very bad, and these metrics are all inflated. And even if they were real, right? Even if this were all real, the traffic were real, and these were real, you just look at the site and see, okay, this is absolutely trash. Okay, so don't go for these ones. Okay, go for guest posts and niche edits, which I'll show you how to build later on, and I'll have videos on that as well. Okay, now, biggest one right here, strategies to acquiring backlinks. There's 3. You can copy, you can do organic, you can buy. Now, organic is essentially the hardest one, which is basically telling you that, okay, build out quality content, build out a quality site, quality posts, and if the content is amazing, eventually people will link out to you. Now, that can happen, but it takes a long, long time, and it is hard, okay? So don't go for this one. I mean, you can, but I won't recommend. Second one is buy. This is by far the easiest one. You can buy quality links on marketplaces for people that actually evaluate your site and then do exactly what I'm going to do here. Right, so the strategy I'm going to show you here in the copy is what people do here. So if you don't want to waste time doing the copy strategy, just pay someone to do the copy strategy for you. Now, what is the copy strategy? Essentially, you go out, you find your competitors, and you look for what backlinks they have, and you replicate the backlinks they have. Now, this seems simple. It is quite simple. It's not easy because it takes some time, but you can have this strategy done by someone else. That's why you can buy these links. But let me give you an actual example here. So if I go here and just type in rhinoplasty in Texas, okay? And I just go here and let's say this is my competitor, right? Let's do this one, it's my competitor. Let's say this is my competitor. Just copy that link, I pasted it in Ahrefs, okay? And what I do is I simply go to backlinks, okay? And now I gotta have a critical mindset, I gotta have critical thinking and see, okay, out of all these backlinks, because I don't want to replicate these ones, right? This is a bad backlink. This is a bad backlink, right? 0 DR, 0 UR almost, comes from a blog spot. Surely it is a spammy link, right? This surely is a spammy link, yeah. I mean, it's not a good link, right? You can tell. So what I want to do is I want to go through their best backlinks list and try to see which ones I can replicate. For example, WebMD, amazing backlink, right? DR92, right? It is no follow, doesn't matter. Right? Doesn't matter because it is coming from an authority media place in the marketplace, okay? So if I can I'm going to see, okay, can I list my website here, right? This looks like a directory. Most likely I can. Okay, well, list your practice. Easy, right? I just replicated this backlink. And you go through the list and you go through all these links and see, okay, are these ones, which ones are the good ones that I can replicate? Okay, now it does take time, it does take a ton of time and effort, but essentially you can pay someone to do it for you. There's people out there that just do this for a living, that take your site, evaluate how the competitors' backlinks, and build the same backlinks they have, and also some more on top, right? Because again, the whole goal of this is to build all the ones they have, and then build some more on top of that, right? And the some more you can build are, let's see here, are niche edits and press releases, guest posts, and PBN links, right? These are very, very, very powerful backlinks, and there's a bunch more stuff right here, but I'll go over that in a second here, okay? So strategies to acquiring link is either copy, just like I showed you, organic, which I don't really recommend, or just buy, which is in my opinion, the highest ROI, because you don't lose time doing it and just pay someone to do it for you and you see results. Now, big thing, before you actually build the backlinks, you have to figure out the rotation of the anchor text. What this means is simply this, right? This is just a rule of thumb. This is what I usually do. So for anchor text, again, which is the little text you click to go to the site, you should have at least 70% branded anchors, 20% naked URL anchors, 5% generic, that's the click here, learn more, find out more, less than 5% partial match anchors, and less than 1% exact match anchors. Now, again, this is just a rule of thumb. And the way I have built this is to make it look as natural as possible. Because if you just have 100% of exact match anchors, which, for example, let's say Plumber Dallas, like which is the keyword you want to rank for, is going to arise a lot of suspicion from Google. And they're going to see, okay, these guys are just buying backlinks with exact match anchors. We're just going to penalize them. Okay, so don't do that, right? You want to play it safe. That's why I do this. Again, you don't have to follow these numbers by the exact, but you sort of follow this to some extent, right? The highest here, lowest here, okay? Here's an example. For example, for this site, main keyword is Plumber Dallas, right? Branded anchors would be Baker Brothers Plumbing, which is the name of the brand right here, right? Same thing with capitalized B, right? All caps, right? The name of the company, space company. So you can build out, the branded anchors doesn't just have to be the name of the company. It can be all of these ones. So you gotta be a little bit creative, right? Because again, you don't want to also build all your branded anchors to be the exact same, so because that won't look natural. So give it a spin, give it a twirl. You can even use ChatGPT to help out with this. So yeah, then naked anchors, again, doesn't just need to be the URL. It can be the URL without the HTTPS or with it. So yeah, that plays in mind. Generic anchors could be click here to learn more, visit our site, see our services. I mean, there's endless. Partial match here in this case is our long tail, plumber in Dallas, best plumber in Dallas, number one plumber Dallas, plumber company in Dallas, plumber, okay, you understand, and exact match, the exact keyword you want to rank for. So in this case, people, I mean, looking for a plumber, really they don't really type plumber in Dallas. They mostly just type plumber Dallas, right? They don't really type the in. So that's that. So again, this is just a quick overview of how to actually choose the anchors and the levels at which you should be building it. Okay. Now, where do you actually use each anchor? This is very important. Is like this, right? For branded anchors, you want to go for links from social media, right? The most you can. For naked URL anchors, go for foundation links, which I'll go over what they are in a second here, and Web 2.0s. For generic anchors, go for guest posts, edu links, gov links, press releases. Okay. For partial match anchors, go for regular PBN links. Okay. For exact match anchors, go for heavy hitters, PBN links, right? Niche edits, big boy links like guest posts. And why is it done like this? Because these links right here are the most powerful ones, right? These are the least powerful ones. And these are the most powerful ones. So the thing is that your most valuable anchors are the exact match anchors. So we don't want to quote unquote waste them in low powerful links, right? So if you need to build exact match anchors, you want to leave them and save them for the most powerful type of links, niche edits, right? Because what happens is if you are doing this the inverse way, you're just going to be again wasting your quota of actual anchors that get you rankings, the exact match and the partial matches, okay? So do it like this, otherwise you're just gonna be spending some money and time, okay? That's very important. Now, moving on to figuring out what keywords you wanna rank for. This is one of the most important things. You wanna go for high BI keywords. Now, what it is the following. So, and I've given this example a lot of times, but I wanna give it again. Let's say my business is an iPhone repair shop. Okay, I have a real life shop that repairs iPhones, right? Let me just do this a bit better, okay? and I have people coming into the store, right? I have my website, right? And people come into the website. They come into the website and then they go to the store and have me repair their iPhones. Now, people can't come into the website by searching on Google for how to repair an iPhone, right? They can come in by that. Or they can come in because my site also ranks for where to repair an iPhone or how much does it cost to repair an iPhone. Now, this keyword, how to repair an iPhone, let's say it has 10,000 searches a month. While these two, where or how much does it cost, I only have, let's say, 1K. Now, it might seem smart to, okay, let me just target this one, right? Much more searches, more or less the same niche, right? People want to learn how to repair. I just prepared for them. It is not smart to target this because someone searching for how to repair an iPhone, we can assume that most likely they want to do it themselves. While someone searching for where or how much does it cost to repair an iPhone, we can assume that most likely they want to pay someone to do it for them. So we go for high buying intent keywords. And a exercise you can do is you can draw this matrix where in the y-axis we have BI, which is buying intent, and in the x-axis we have traffic and also competition. And you do a list of keywords, you list all your keywords, and then you place them here. And you do not go for keywords here nor here. Why? Because these have low buying intent and low traffic, and these have low buying intent, high traffic. So not only these keywords here, not only they are hard to rank for because there's high traffic, high competition, they also have low buying intent. So you might be ranking first, but you're not getting actually any paid leads from it. You want to go for people here, keywords here and here. They have high buying intent, low traffic, or high buying intent, high traffic. Ideally these ones, because they're easiest ones to rank for, low competition, high buying intent, and then these ones, okay? And this is a very important exercise because you don't want to be targeting the wrong keywords. And this ties into all this because the keywords you want to target are also the keywords you're going to use in your anchor texts. Okay, so this is very important. Don't waste time going for keywords here and here because you're just going to be wasting your time, right? With this example, applies to any single business, in any single niche, in any language, right? This exercise, I suggest you do it for your business to figure out, okay, out of all the keywords I want to rank for, which of them have high buying intent? Then list the keywords, right? Draw the matrix and place them here, wherever you feel like they fit the best, and target the ones in these two quadrants. High buying intent is where you want to go for, okay? So very, very, very important. Now, links you should be building to a new site, right? What type of links should the new site be getting, right? And I call these foundation links, okay? Now, the main goal is to build a strong foundation for what's to come. What's to come meaning more powerful links, right? And also, you can use this to diversify your anchor text rotations. Now, the goal of these links is to build, again, a foundation. Tell Google, okay, we have some sort of presence online. Some sites are linking to us. We have a couple of brand mentions here and there on these lower profile sites. Most of these links are created on free sites, right? Article submission links, free press release distribution sites, PDF doc sites, free Web 2.0 blog posting like Tumblr, Weebly, right? All these free places, social media bookmarks, video sharing sites like YouTube, right? The video on YouTube with a link in the description to your site, Vimeo, right? Dailymotion, classified ad links, image sharing links, social media posting links, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right? All these are free links, directory submissions. For example, if you're a local business on Yelp, Foursquare, all those, right? These are free links you can build. These build out the foundation of the pyramid for what's to come on top, right? This gives you the initial boost, the initial brand mentions, the initial, essentially you're telling Google, okay, we are here, we are this brand, and we are starting to be mentioned online. We are starting to be mentioned on social media. We are starting to get links being pointed out to us. And this you can do manually, or you can just pay someone to do it for you. But again, this is the very first links I build to any client site, okay? Foundation links, very important. Now, let's break down a link building strategy that goes way beyond the foundation links, right? So this is what I do and this is what works, okay? So this is your money site, the site you want to rank for, right? And the goal here is to have a diverse link building strategy. Not just use PBN links, not just use guest posts, not just newsletters, use all the things you can. And there's more stuff here, okay? Now, PBN links. This is one of the most powerful links you can do, right? And this is a par plus relevant links. Now, you can pay someone to PBN stands for Private Blog Network. By the way, if you don't know what this is essentially a network of blogs, right? These are all individual blogs, right? Owned by the same guy. So that's a network, right? And ideally, these network of sites, they're all under the same niche. So these are all, for example, health blogs, all health blogs, health health. So this is a PBN in the health niche. And this is a very, very powerful asset because you can just point all these sites, right, to a site you want to rank in the health niche, and it's just going to skyrocket. Now, there's a couple of nuances here on how to build the PBN network. So go watch the video I mentioned before, because you don't want to have them all on the same hosting. You don't want to interlink them. There's a lot of nuance here on how to build a proper PBN, a private blog network. So make sure to watch this video right here. Very, very important. It's going to be the first link probably in the description. So watch that if you want to build a PBN, or you can just pay someone to place your link on their network. The issue is that because you're paying them, other people can also pay them. So most likely you're going to be diluted a bit, but you can do it. Okay, so PBN links, very important. Now, then guest posts. Again, this is where you do outreach and find sites in your niche that might want accept payment to link out to your, right? To create a new blog post on their site about your niche, about your whatever it is, and link out to your site. Now, these are expensive, just like niche edits are expensive, but they're a great link, right? And the reason why they're expensive and the reason why they're good is because unlike foundation links, which are free, which anyone can build, not anyone can build guest posts, okay? Just like not anyone can build PBN links, okay? So important here. And again, I'll have a video on how to build guest posts in detail. I'll link it down below. Again, if I forget, let me know. Press release links. This is where you essentially push your brand name out there, right? You get more eyeballs on your brand because, again, these press release links are posted to Yahoo Finance, right? Bloomberg, all these authoritative news networks, right? This is expensive, by the way, but it is worth it. So you get more eyeballs and you get more clicks. Then you also get link juice because, again, you're getting links to all these 400 news outlets, okay? Maybe more. And also increase your brand awareness because your brand is going to be mentioned on all these news outlets. And news outlets tend to be authoritative in Google's eyes, okay? Yahoo Finance, for example, if you're gonna a brand mention there, which you can via press releases, it is a good way to, again, grow your brand online, which nowadays SEO is mostly about brand. That's why we have to have a presence on social media as well, not just be inside the search engine. We have to have a presence on all these social media platforms, which is why brand is very important. Because if you're building a business, you want to build it on a brand. Okay, so PR, press release, very important. Foundation links, I already explained this, right? The main goal is to build a strong foundation for what's to come and diversify your anchor text rotation. For example, let's say you build a ton of PBN links and you are a bit off on here, right? You're a bit off on here. Let's say you have, for example, 50% partial matches, which is quite high. What you can do to dilute this, you just buy a couple of foundation links or build a couple of foundation links, 100 links right here, and have them be generic or naked URL or branded anchors, and you can dilute the anchors from the PBN link. So you can do that as well, right? You can leverage and use this to dilute your anchors, okay? Then niche edits, again, it's one of the most powerful links you can get because, like I said before, a niche edit differs from a guest post in the sense that a guest post, again, is a new link or a new post posted on the site. A niche edit is a link posted on an old post on that site. So it's a post that's already indexed in Google, already has some trust, already has some power, and they're updating the post and linking to your site, right? So again, power plus relevancy, manually done and on site to real traffic. That's what you want to strive for, okay? Big one right here. Now, again, you can keep on going with this, and depending on your niche, you might want to do it. Tier 2 link building, linking out to your PBNs, which then link out to your money site, linking out to your guest posts, linking out to all these platforms. And again, some people even do tier 3, which I think is a bit overkill, but you can do it to build up this pyramid, which everything funnels to your money site, okay? What I usually like to do is build different types of links. For example, EDU links, right? The goal is to increase domain authority because usually when you have links from EDU or Gov links linking out to your site, your DA increase. Now, domain authority, all these metrics right here are all essentially created by Ahrefs and all these tools. They can easily be manipulated, but when I speak about domain authority, I'm not necessarily speaking about this number right here. I'm speaking about the authority in Google's eyes, okay? Which is important. So then novelty links, you can build links from Reddit, Amazon, Telegram, which are all do follow. And oftentimes these are links that your competitors don't have. So it allows you to diversify your link profile compared to what they have, which is also good. Okay, let's say, for example, you think, I built so many PBNs already, I built so many guest posts, I want to diversify a bit. Go for this. Go for these types of links, right? Super important. You can also build Q&A links. This is a great way to send organic and target traffic to your site, as well as link juice. I have a video again solely on this same YouTube channel. Search for Quora and you'll find it. Essentially, the tactic here, is to go on Quora, right? Quora is a Q&A site. Find relevant questions from people in your niche, right? Asking questions about your product or service, or just as a whole about your niche. Go there with a optimized profile, an aged profile, comment on those questions with a proper answer, and carefully leave a link to your site. Okay, this takes time, takes effort, but it is possible. I'll leave a link down below for this video as well. If I forget, let me know. But it is a very powerful way to get organic target traffic to your site. But again, you need to make sure that the account that comments on these questions is old account, aged account with authority, right? Because if you just do this with new accounts, just be leaving links right here, accounts are going to get banned. So yeah, just going to waste time. Then you can do Google stacking. Again, I'll leave a link down below for this video. Again, this is just another way to leverage, in this case, you're going to leverage Google's own properties to build links to your site. So essentially, you're getting links from Google itself to your site. You can also do what is called entity stacking, which is essentially building links from all these cloud platforms, from Microsoft Cloud, Amazon, all these powerful links right here, IBM, even Google's Cloud. Interlink this all in the way that makes sense, and at the same time they all link to your site. These are a bit more advanced tactics. Again, there's videos on this exact channel on how to do this step by step, how to do this step by step, how to do this step by step, how to do this step by step. There's links, again, videos on the channel for every single one of these right here. There's a video on this channel on how to do it step by step. So let's say you want to build EDO links, go watch the video that tells you exactly how to do it. I'll go over exactly how to find the links and how to actually place your link on there. Same thing for all these. So don't just, I don't want to be fully generic here, but I cannot record like a huge video specifically when I've recorded already videos solely on this. But again, if you want to learn exactly how to build every one of these types of links individually, there's videos on our channel on how to do it. And if I forget, I hope not, I'll link them down below in the description so you can go out and build them for you. And if you don't want to do it yourself, you can just hire someone like a VA to watch the video and build them out for you. You can also do that, maybe saves you some time. Okay, so there we go. So by now you should know how to build links to not just your post, right, but to any single entity you own, like your site, your socials, all this. Because the clip I just played teaches you everything and anything about link building in terms of SEO and how to tackle off-page SEO, which is one of the, of course, 3 main pillars of SEO that you need to nail. So with that said, let's just move on to the next part of this course, which is schema markup. And first of all, let me tell you what this is and how this can benefit you and your website and your business. So basically, there's different types of schema. I'm going to show you one, which is the how-to schema. As you can see here, if you search for how to rank in Google after all the ads, the result that most calls your attention, of course, is this one. It has an image and a checklist, a step-by-step list. So this one is in second, but I can assure you that this one is the one that gets the most clicks. So if you click here, which I already did, this is basically the list. Okay, this is the site right here, which is list, step 1. So it's a how-to guide. Step 1 has a bunch of text. Step 2, again, text, images, blah, blah. So if you do inspect view page source, you can see that there is actually some schema. So as you can see, you have different types of schema. This one is the organization schema, which I'll show you in a bit. But if you search through here, you'll find the how-to schema. Okay, this was just an example. I want to show you more examples before I actually tell you how to create these types of schema. Because if you say have a blog here and have a step-by-step list like this guy right here, if you implement schema, the code in your website, you might get lucky, I guess, and have Google display your how-to like this. But let's move on. Other types of schema are recipe schema. So if you search for rice recipes, Google displays these ones, and if you click here, you're redirected to a website that most likely, if you inspect the element, you'll see that it has schema somewhere. So let's do it, and just do Command F and type schema, and as you can see, we have schema right here. Okay, and as you can see, yeah, it has the organization type, which is basically a website or a business. And actually, this is the one for the theme, I guess. But if you scroll down here, you can see that there is a recipe schema. So add type recipe, which is one that is available as well as here. Okay. Now again, I'm just gonna show you more examples because I think this is valuable. There's event schema. So say events in Portland. Of course, you can go down here and click each one of these, but these ones get a bunch of attention. The idea with schema is to get your site highlighted in some way in the SERP so you get more clicks. So this is the good thing about schema. You get many more clicks. The one I showed you for the rice recipes, there were like big images here. So you're most likely you're going to click the images that will take you to the article instead of scrolling down and clicking on the articles. Then say you write best PC monitor 2022. You also have here a list schema. Okay, so just like the previous one I showed you. And of course, all these websites get clicks, but I'm guessing this one gets many more clicks. Okay, so the idea is to highlight your website with schema like this. And sorry if I'm repeating myself. And then another one, that's FAQ schema. So if you write, why is SEO important? This right here is FAQ schema. So the FAQ, so the questions to your, the answers to your questions, appear directly in the search. So you don't need to click. But if you do click, as you can see, this is the website. So it has why SEO is important, it has the question and the answer. The question and the answer. Okay, so and this appears directly on the SERPs. Okay, so this calls more attention to this result. And this one has it as well. Okay, so just gonna double check. If you do inspect view page source, which I already did right here, you can see it has schema implemented as well. Okay, so now you know why it's important to have schema, because it in theory gets more clicks to your website. How do you actually implement schema? Okay, so what you do is go here. There are several tools that do this. This one is a good one. technicalseo.com, you go for tools and then schema markup generator. Say you have, for example, a FAQ section or a recipe or whatever, video product. There's a bunch of schema, local businesses. This one, I think I have a video on this, but if I don't, I'll record one in the future. But if you have a local business, you need to insert local business schema in your website. Okay, it gets you a ton of advantages. Sorry. Now, say you want to do how a FAQ page, okay, like the one we saw previously, where the results were directly in the SERPs. What you do is choose it right here. Then what you do is go to your FAQ page. So you need to have a FAQ page created beforehand. Okay, so otherwise this doesn't make sense. So this right here, you write the first question on your FAQ page. I don't have an FAQ page on my website, but if I did, I would just copy the first question here. So let's do, why is SEO important, for example, because it gets you more business. Okay, but like I said, this would be, you'd have to copy exactly what your FAQ page on your website was about. Or if you chose, for example, a recipe or whatever, product, event, whatever, it needs to be the same as you have it on your website, of course, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so you can add more questions, whatever. What you do then is you copy this code and you go to Google, sorry, this is in Portuguese, you go to Google Rich Results tool, and you just go to the code, you paste it in, and you test the code. And basically this tool will just double check if the tool you use to generate the schema code is in the correct format. So as you can see, it is. So this is a good tool. Like I said, there are several. So make sure if the one you're using generates quality code. Okay. And as you can see here, FAQ detected. This isn't properly filled out. Like I said, this isn't like this looks very bad. But yeah, as you can see, it's valid. So now what you do is you copy the code again, and go to your website and go to the post where you have the actual FAQ, which I don't have. And let's say this one was it. I don't even know what this is, but let's say this was the post with the FAQ. Go to text and just paste in the code, and you just hit update and you're good. So now to double check if the schema was actually implemented, what you do is copy that URL, copy link address, and you go here and paste in the URL, test URL. And as you can see here, the FAQ schema is detected and it's valid. Yeah, that's basically it. This is how you would get results like the ones I showed you before, like how to do SEO. This one is the how-to schema, like again, they're the recipe ones, how to cook rice or rice recipes, I think, yeah. So this is how you get stuff like this, okay, or the FAQ one. Which again, if you wanted to know how to cook rice, most likely you would click these ones instead of scrolling down right here and clicking these ones, okay? So that's the idea behind the schema markup and how it can help you and your business. Now, of course, by the way, if you want to do this for local business, you just choose here local business, right? Just fill this all in with your local business info, and of course, just copy it, validate, see if it's correct. Most of it should be correct, but still use that Google tool to validate it. Then just copy it and paste it to your site, just like I said before. But again, the whole goal of this is you're giving more context to Google, right? The more context you give it, the better. And I can assure you, like most of your competitors won't have schema markup set up. So again, local business, right? You can even be more specific, add anything and every single thing you can here. The more things you can add that make sense, of course, the better it is for you, right? Because this little code is what Google reads, right? And make sure it's, by the way, it's coherent with what you have on the site, okay? Add this, nobody does it, or very few people do it because they think it's too technical. I mean, it is a bit, but yeah, I think you understood how to do it, right? It's pretty straightforward. So yeah, just want to throw this in here because again, for local business, it's the same thing. That's it. Something else, just I guess I can mention, if you want to do some a local business scheme or organization, what you do is instead of doing that on a certain post like this, you go to at least in WordPress, you go to appearance, theme editor, you go to the header and you place the code inside the body or the header. Either one works. And yeah, that's just basically a little tip if you want to do the local business or organization. So of course you wouldn't post that on a single post. You would need to post it on the header so it goes throughout the whole website. Okay, so now I want to talk about UI and UX. And if you don't know, UI stands for user interface and UX stands for user experience. And this might sound boring, but it is key. Because if you're ranking number one, right, but your UI and your UX sucks, well, you're never going to make any money, right? And you can make so much more money by investing in UI and UX than you think so. Okay, so let me just break down what I mean by this. So here's 3 different websites, right? 3 different plumbing websites. Now, UI and UX, in essence, is the user experience and the user interface you build to make sure you can increase conversions. Because you can send 1 billion people to this site, but if not a single one of them does what you want them to do, which here should be calling you, right, it doesn't matter. And so you need to have an interface and a user experience, right, user experience and user interface that makes people do whichever conversion event you want them to do. Whether that's call you, right? Whether that's sending out an email for a quote, whether that's buying a product or service, whether that's following you on social, doesn't matter, right? You have to maximize your conversions through building a proper user interface and experience that leads customers to that conversions. And here's a bad example, or a not so very much optimized example, right? And I know this might seem picky, but when you're talking about thousands of people going to your site over the course of years, right, it does make a difference. So here, right, the color for the call to action is red. Call to action being places where you can click to schedule or to call them, right? However, it gets overshadowed because there's this huge red as well banner right here, right? So your eyes, when you look at this, right, this one even, like, you don't even notice this one. And then this is red as well. So you should have different colors for your calls to action. These should be like blue or green, right? Your calls to action should not blend in with anything else on the page. This is bad user interface and user experience. And trust me, this might seem picky, but it does make a difference in the long run, okay? For example, this one, right? What's the issue here? This is way too small, right? Think about people coming to your site. Where the hell is the number, right? Oh, it's up here, it's so small, I have to zoom in. This is small as well, right? Now, again, here the call to action is blue or grayish. Here is red all of a sudden, which is the same color as the banner. So it all like blends in. It's not good, right? You need to make it pop, right? Now this is clickable, right? But if you just look at this right now, right, you don't see it. You don't see it, right? Because it's the same color, right? And you look at here first, so you don't associate red with call to action, but turns out it is, okay? Again, I'm being picky, but this does make a difference, right? As you're scrolling by, right? Oh, I see red here, oh, red again, oh, red again. So if the button was a different color, right? For example, this yellow pops much more because there's less yellow on the page, right? To some extent. So hopefully this is making sense so far. I know these are the brand colors, but you can do so much more with this. I'm not a UI or UX expert, but trust me when I tell you that these little things do matter, right? Having a proper user experience and user interface, right? The experience would be, of course, if you click here, you should go to, okay, this might not be the best user experience because these sort of pop-ups tend to break on mobile. I'm not sure how it's working here, right? I'll try to make it mobile friendly right here. Yeah, it's not really mobile friendly. Let me just do this. iPhone. Okay, so yeah, it's mobile friendly. Let's just do this. Okay, but be careful with these pop-ups because they tend to break on some phones. So I wouldn't advise you to do a pop-up. But again, right, it's my whole point is that you need proper UI and UX. Here, for example, right, this gets completely, overshadowed, right? There's just so much blue, right? This doesn't pop, right? There's just so much. Look at this. There's so much on the site. Financing offer, all bold, little big letters, right? Where's the call to action? Not this. Is this call to action? No, infographic, right? There's no call to action here. That's noticeable, right? Maybe if I go to a landing page, but this was actually a landing page, so never mind. Again, invest in UI and UX. If you don't know how to do it, right? If you're a local business and don't know how to do it, right? I'm not saying these guys are bad, but it could be better, right? Hire someone to do it for you, right? Tell them, hey, listen, I want to invest in user interface and user experience to maximize my conversions. My conversions, I want them to be calls to my business. So make sure the first thing people see when they come to the site is the call now button. I don't want it to be overshadowed by the logo or anything else, right? I want it to be one color so it pops, okay? Very, very important. That's, I guess, the little segment of this course about UI and UX with somewhat of tangible tips. But again, I'm not an expert. I'm just going to tell you that these things do matter, and these little appointments I made here just go a long way. So yeah, that's it in terms of UI and UX. Let's move on. Okay, so now I want to speak about citations, right? We have a lot to cover here, so let's just get straight into it. Now, you might have heard the word citation in the SEO space, and what it is essentially is basically an online business mention, right? So if you go to ChatGPT and ask it to give you a list of citations, right? Give me a list of SEO citation websites, right? There's Google My Business, of course, there's Bing, there's Yelp, your Facebook business page, LinkedIn business page, Apple Maps, of course, Yellow Pages, Trustpilot, Foursquare. I mean, these are all essentially citation sites where, in essence, it is a mention of your business on one of these listing sort of sites. For example, Yellow Pages is the classic listing type of site, Yelp as well, okay? Now, Facebook and LinkedIn ones, these are just basically byproducts of their social media network, right? But they do offer these sorts of directories. Now, there's, of course, country-specific, so US, local.com, Merchant Circle, of course, one of the most famous ones. UK, there's Yale, there's Free Index, right? There's specific ones for specific countries. For example, for Australia, yellowpages.com.au, right? Through local hot frog, right? You get the point. And so, as I said here, there's all these ones right here, right? And basically the whole point of this, right? The whole point of citations, yes, they give you some link juice because you're going to have links from Bing to your site, from Yelp to your site, from Facebook, all these. Most of them will be no follow, okay? No follow links. There's two types of links, by the way. There's do follow, right? And there's no follow links usually from these high authoritative places like, for example, Wikipedia, Facebook. These are all no follow links. And no follow links, essentially what it means is that the link juice, so let's call it the link juice, right, doesn't really flow through, doesn't give you a direct rank boost. Usually, excuse me, do follow links are the ones that give you like a boost in the rankings. So the link counts towards something, as like it adds 1 point. While in the no follow, it adds like 0 points. It is not necessarily bad because it adds other stuff. It adds, for example, trust in Google's eyes. So a link from Wikipedia isn't bad. A link from Facebook isn't bad. It's good, right? Google can see still no follow links, right? But they just don't carry the weight of the link itself. That being said, this is still very valuable. Okay, so don't think that just because these are no follow links that they're not necessary or they don't really matter. They do matter. Okay, but I think hopefully I'll cover this do follow versus no follow later down the line. If not, I mean, I have a video on this channel, surely. I've been recording videos for almost 5 years now. I think I have a video going over the differences between do follow and no follow. If you scroll down, you'll find it. But that's essentially it, okay? Now, other than that, like I said before, it's to build brand awareness, build links from authoritative sources, and of course, gains Google's trust, okay? This is basically the whole goal of citations, right? Because, again, Google needs to know you're a brand, right? And the best way to tell, hey, listen, this is my brand, we do X, Y, Z, is to have multiple mentions of your brand across the internet on these authoritative sources. Yelp, TripAdvisor, HotFrog, Bing, Google. You get the point, okay? Now, very important here, and I'll show you how to build these. It's quite simple, right? It's NAP consistency, okay? Name, address, and phone number consistency. So if you're listing your business on Yelp, right, the phone number you add there, the address you add there, and all the stuff, right, needs to be consistent with what you add on HotFrog, right? Because otherwise you're just going to be confusing Google and your brand's going to be all over the place. And even though there's links from authoritative sources coming in, right, Google will not really trust you because it's all over the place. Like, is your phone number this? Is it that? Is your URL this? Is it that? Right? What the hell is this? It's only going to do more harm than good. So make sure that's accurate, and consistency, because consistency means Google will trust the information it sees on your business, right? If it's all inconsistent, well, Google doesn't really know what to trust, okay? And again, some of these do give you links back to your site. Most of them will be no follow. The most powerful ones will be no follow, but some of them will be do follow. But again, it doesn't really matter here, because your goal here isn't to build amazing links, is to, like I said before, do this, okay? Now, moving on. You'll notice that when you get your business going, and if you list it in some of these, or even if you don't, right, there's going to be some what they call citations or data aggregators that essentially basically list the business for you, right? All these like lower tier types of websites, right? If you search for your business, actual registered business name on Google, your business will show up. And the way they make money is that if you want to edit the listing, you got to pay them. Or if you want to add a link to your site, well, you got to pay them. So just note that a lot of data aggregator sites, are going to list your business there, and of course supply this data to Google. So basically, they gather data from online sources, including your citations, the ones you build, right? Even if you have no citations, they'll take info from your site, from your social platforms, and display it on their site for you. Now, again, you got to make sure that this info that they're putting online is consistent, because if you have multiple, like on your website you say one thing, on your Facebook page you say another thing, on one of your citations you say another thing, all these data aggregator sites are going to be taking info from all over the place. And so now some of them will say something, the others will say something else. And so it's very bad, because it's very hard to control what these data aggregator sites do. Because again, most of them you got to pay to edit the info, and it's a pain in the ass to have to do that. So in order for you to not suffer, because this is a good thing, right? They're giving you links, but in order for the links to be actually valuable, right, you got to make sure that the data they're collecting is consistent. Otherwise, again, all the data that these sites are going to be putting out on their sites is going to be like inconsistent. Hopefully, I'm making my point across. It's very, very important that you're consistent, because these guys are going to be picking up the data you put out there. Okay, so NAP consistency, very, very important. Okay, now how many do you need? Well, classic answer: more than your competitors, right? In SEO, not all the time, but most times, you gotta just do what your competitors are doing, but just more and better. In terms of just citations in specific, well, you need exactly the ones they have. So copy exactly the ones they have, right? And then build more on top of that, right? Pretty straightforward. Now, the citation sites or the citation listings, right, from, for example, Yelp, right, this links to your website right here. This links to your social media platforms. You can link your GMB posts, your citations. You can interlink citations as well, right? There's infinite things you can do. There's infinite ways in which you can link and interlink citations from and to your website, from and to your socials, from and to your GMB posts, okay? Now, the way in which you find citations, well, it's quite simple. You can use Ahrefs, and there's also free tools. I just copied this link from this, I'm not affiliated with them, just a plumbing company, I think somewhere in the US, I think Texas, right? I just went into Ahrefs, pasted their URL here into the address, went to backlinks, and now I just sort basically by DR, by domain rating, because usually, right, these platforms, like I said before, right, all these, right, so, all these citation platforms are very, very authoritative. So Yelp, Facebook, Bing, etc. So, of course, the more authoritative they are, the higher the domain rating is. Okay, so we'll find here Crunchbase. Open this up. Yellow Pages, you see, right? Yellow Pages, of course. These are listing sites. Crunchbase is a listing site. So you have the company name, the location, the link to the website, etc. A bunch more info on the business. Yellow Pages, of course, same thing, right? There's a link there to them, right? And this is the best and simplest way to find exactly the citations they have, right? This is a citation, most likely it is, right? Expertise.com. Jesus, if I go here to the homepage, most likely I can, this is a listing website, right? I can also list my business here. So boom, another one I can copy, DR90, very, very powerful. DNB, this is a directory as well. There you go, business directory is simple, right? So just by sorting by DR, you can easily find citations I have. And so build yours, and then if you feel like you need some, right, just see which ones they have. Oh, here's one for Yahoo, and just copy them, right? It's quite simple, go here and just see what they have, right? Pretty straightforward. Now, if you don't have Ahrefs, well, don't worry, just go into ChatGPT and ask it, okay, what are some of give me a list of SEO citation sites, and then just copy take these and then list your business in these ones. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to make this harder and more complex than it already is. It's just literally building citations, and it is free, right? Most of these sites, you can build citations for free. You don't necessarily need to pay for citations. If you're maybe in a very competitive niche, maybe so, but I'd say 90% of the work is just done by creating the basic ones, so Google, Bing, Yelp, Hotfrog, etc., and then just copying whichever your competitors have and doing them as well. And most likely after that, you'll have more than them, as well as all of theirs. Because if you have all the ones they have plus some more, I mean, you're going to be doing a better job. Just make sure they're super consistent. So that's basically it. I guess I'll link down below a sheet or a list for the citations I like to do best when starting out, so you can take it for free as well. So check the description for a link or a list, I guess, of all the citation sites I like to do when I get going, because there's a bunch of them. And I think in this list, you'll find the ones that I think are the easiest ones, the ones that index the faster, and the ones that are most powerful. So yeah, that's it. Let's move on. Okay, so I want to talk now about something extremely boring but super important, which is meta tags optimizations. Now, very boring, but trust me when I tell you that if you're not doing this, I mean, I don't want to say that your whole SEO game is thrown to waste, but close to it. What do I mean by this? Let me just go here on Google real quick, right? And let's just search real quick for plumber Dallas, okay? We just follow the same example, right? Let's just skip the ads, add. We have the maps. Oh, we have the maps. And let's go here to the organic results, okay? Now, when a user goes here, right, and you might think this doesn't really matter, but it does, right? People actually read what you write here, right? And yeah, they don't really read what it's written here because it's like super small. Again, it depends on the search. Usually for local businesses, people just want it quick, but if it's not necessarily a local search, people, and you'll find yourself doing this as well, right? You actually read what's here in the meta description. By the way, this is the meta title, okay? Meta title, and this is the meta description. Okay, let's put a D here. Okay. Now, for local SEO, yeah, people don't really read this, but you'll notice that some keywords are bolded out, right? And whether you like it or not, when you're like skimming and scrolling through the results, your eyes will catch attention to the, okay, Dallas, okay, Dallas. So your eyes naturally will be dragged towards the bolded out words. So you're probably like already guessing where I'm going to go at it, which is make sure that in your meta description, right, you got to sprinkle in your keywords for two reasons. First, you got to, let's call it SEO optimize it. So make it optimized for SEO. I know this is a bit redundant because SEO stands for search engine optimization, but either way, you got to optimize it for SEO. So if you're trying to rank for plumber Dallas, try to include the keyword plumber or plumbing or Dallas, right? Or both, right? And second, right, you got to optimize it for user experience. Because again, when I'm skimming through this, right, being a user and I search for plumber Dallas, I'm going to be predisposed to reading this keyword, to reading these keywords or words when my eyes are going through all this. So again, two very important things. Optimize your meta description for SEO, and I'll go over how to do that in a second here. But then most importantly, or as important, optimize it for experience of the user. So note that the keywords are going to be bolded out. Not necessarily the keywords you search here, because I search plumber and it's bolding out the keyword plumbing, right? And it's of course bolding out the keyword Dallas. But optimize it for the user experience. Very, very important, because if like it is a small thing, right? But over the course of months or years, over the course of multiple people searching, multiple people skimming through the results, you'll see a decrease in clicks if you don't have these things, because their eyes will be naturally drawn towards bolded out keywords based or related to the search that they did, okay? So very important. Now, same thing applies to the meta title, okay? And here, not so much related with the bold, but related with what you write, okay? So here, for example, they went with brand name, okay? And then they went for, I guess, an award. Vote best Dallas plumber. Exact match keyword here, best, and again, some, I guess, social proof, right? Here, this is Yelp, so they just fully on capitalized the best 10 plumbing in Dallas, okay? Here, voted the best plumbing service in Dallas. So you'll notice that for this niche, right, they usually all go for the same thing. So voted the best one in Dallas. Let's see here more. We have here Dallas plumbers, okay, top rated as you see here. So these keywords, top rated, let's see here. This one doesn't really call my attention that much. This neither, because this is too long. Reeves family plumbing, trusted Dallas plumber. I'll put it the other way around. And so I know that I'm being picky here, but the way in which you write things and how you write them plays a very, very, very big part. For example, this one right here, this doesn't even show me, right, what else it's here. And they could have made the mistake of hiding crucial info after this because they made the meta title too long. So you want to make the meta title as short as possible. For example, these guys chose to add the phone number here. And you might need to do some A/B testing, some split testing to see, okay, let's first try the meta title without the phone number and see how many calls we usually get. And then let's try putting it here, running it for like 2 months and see if we get more calls. If we do, okay, maybe just add it a bit more towards the top, right? Maybe just add it here and see if you get more calls. So it's all about testing, right? It's not just, this shouldn't be something static. Of course, you shouldn't be like changing it every single month, but just know that what you write here and how you write it plays a big part. Again, the meta description plays 2 roles. One, in ranking your site, because if this is highly irrelevant, right, Google won't, because this is a ranking factor, by the way. So this needs to be relevant for the search. It needs to be quote unquote SEO optimized. And then second thing, again, they bold out keywords related with your search. And they do this for a reason, because again, your eyes are naturally drawn to these keywords. So if you're just scrolling down and see, oh, okay, plumbing 24 hours. Okay, this one has 24 hours. Boom, let's go. Okay. And again, secondly, the meta title needs to draw people in. It needs to be keyword optimized as well. Hopefully this is making sense so far. I wanted to find a couple more examples here to show you exactly what I mean, but I think from what I just said, you're more or less understanding what I mean. So this is a bad example, so didn't even finish it, right? Let's see here. This one has schema markup, and we've talked already about schema markup. Look at the difference, right? Where are your eyes drawn to? This one or this one, right? This one, of course, because not only the real estate is bigger, so in pixels, this is way higher than just this, okay? I mean, it is small, but it does play a part, right? This has yellow, 2556, so it does play a big part, okay? I would change the meta title to do something more like a 24-hour, maybe, again, like I said before, add the phone number here, see how it performs, see if we get more calls. If not, just remove it, test it out, okay? Very important. And of course, the fav icon, this little thing right here, is shown. So, I mean, this one, if you're just scrolling down, usually I usually use the black background. Usually black and yellow tend to be highly contrasty. So honestly, when I'm looking at here, this is the one that actually draws my eyes to first. Not this one. Not this one looks like very old. This one you can barely see it, right? This one doesn't even have one. Okay, so again, small things, but they do play a big part. Trust me, they do play a big part. Okay. This one is awful, doesn't even have, like, only has a default one. This one you can barely read. And again, I know I'm being picky, but these things play a big part. For example, Reddit one, it caught my eye very, like, just off the top. Again, of course, the Reddit logo is very well known, but I mean, from all of these ones right here, right, this is the one where it's like fully orange, right? It calls attention to the eye. Okay, so again, very important. Meta tags, the title, okay, and the description. Optimize it both for the user experience, so when they're scrolling through and skimming through, it catches their eye, so it's interesting, okay? And then of course, optimize it for SEO. And optimizing for SEO is quite simple, right? Look at what people are doing, right? Search for your main keywords. Let's say this is your main keyword, and see what Google is valuing, okay? From what I see here, of course, adding location and adding the word plumber, location, or the plumbing, right? Just copy what's working. That's essentially it. And of course, sprinkle in your keywords. Now, this is a very simple keyword, right? If we're to do plumber Dallas, 24 hours, right? Let's see what else we can have. We can have here, okay? Now we have the keyword now, emergency, okay, emergency. So Google is valuing the word emergency, so let's just add emergency. So the top 5 results have the word emergency. And 24 hour, this one has it. This one has it as well, closer to the edge. So, excuse me, take a look at what they're doing and try to emulate it. Now, this is a bad example because, again, way too long, okay? So, there's that. So, yeah, that's basically it in terms of meta title, meta description. Look at them, and don't just look at the ones from your homepage, right? Look at the ones from all of your other pages, because I can assure you have some that are not optimized. We, for example, for our own site, we just found like a week ago that we had a terrible meta title for one of our pages that was getting the most traffic. It was ranking, right? But it was just not optimized. So take a look at all your pages, all your main pages, your contacts page, your services pages, your homepage, and take a look at both the meta title and meta description, because I can assure you, you can make some great optimizations. So yeah, that's it. Moving on to the next part of the course. Now, something very important, which I didn't mention here, is that the rankings of your GBP on maps are heavily tied in, correlated with the rankings on Google itself. So if we search for plumber Dallas, right, there's the map pack right here with the with the map and the listings, right? But there's again the, let's call them regular search results, where your brand can appear in. And usually there's a big correlation. The higher you rank here on the quote unquote regular non-map search, the higher you tend to be positioned here. And so there's a big correlation between these two. And so the SEO, right, the local SEO is tied in with quote unquote the regular SEO, which by now you know that SEO, or you should know that because I talked about this before, right? SEO has three main pillars: on-page SEO, off-page SEO, that's an F, and technical SEO, right? On-page is every single thing that happens on the site. So, for example, in terms of blog posts, what you write, how you write it, the keywords you put in there, the the URL structures, all the thing that's actually on the site. What you write about, how you write about it, right? The keywords you're targeting, all this stuff, right? Off-page essentially is link building. It's backlinks, right? How to build the number of backlinks you have, how powerful they are, all this stuff, right? Technical SEO, like the boring stuff, like site speed, schema markup, meta tags, meta descriptions, and all this is super important because you cannot succeed in SEO just targeting one of these three pillars. You have to tackle all three. And here's a perfect example. Let's say you have an amazing on-page, you have an amazing off-page, but you lack technical SEO, and in specific, the site speed. So people go to Google, right? They search for something, right? You're ranking first right here. Ranking first, these are all your competitors below you, right? People click the first site, they go to your site, and it takes like 10 seconds to load. It's a long time. So they get tired to just jump off and then click the second result instead. And if people do this enough, right, eventually you're going to be dropping down and you're going to be swapping with this guy. And so now you're in second. And if this happens a lot of times, you're going to be just going down the rankings. So even though you have these two things nailed down, if your technical SEO, in specific the site speed, isn't nailed down, well, it's going to be quite pointless. So just a small example on how you need to tackle every single one of these three SEO pillars. And why? Again, because local SEO, right, how you rank on maps is heavily correlated with, let's call it again, the regular SEO, which is how your site is positioned on this part of the search, the SERPs, okay? And this depends on page, off-page, and technical. Now, I want to give you access to a course on off-page SEO, which I'll link down below in the description. It's a course basically going over exactly how to build links, like how I build links, what type of links I build, what type of links exist, right? And how to step-by-step build backlinks worth around $300 each, right? And I'll actually put it here for you, right? This course right here, how to build links, it's 3 hours step-by-step course, 3 parts on how to build links worth around $300 each. Why do I know this? Is because I build these exact links and I sell them for this much. So it's again a step-by-step course on how to do off-page SEO. And for on-page SEO, okay, and technical SEO as well, I'll add these 3 courses as well in the description. So mostly this one and this one, again, with AI, this is not without AI if you're a bit more conservative on how to do on-page SEO and technical SEO. So I do want to add this in the description for you because I think it's very important that if you want to dominate local SEO, right, you need to dominate as well and you need to somewhat of an understanding of, let's call it quote unquote, the non-local SEO, the regular SEO, okay? Now, I do want to mention that in these courses, these free courses and these teachings, I do want to mention a software that actually essentially automates your on-page SEO called Journalist AI, which says all this right here, right, which I won't bore you with too much, just does this, right, which people using it have been seeing like crazy results. For example, this guy right here, a buddy of mine, he owns a Spanish ticket selling website, right? Most of the traffic comes from Spanish here, right here. And he grew to 10K a month in just 3 months, right? This guy right here, Anchor, he grew an e-commerce store, 60% more sales, not just, of course, using this software. There's a lot of things that come into play with e-commerce, but he did it right here. Timo right here owns an agency, a German agency, excuse me, and he's been seeing impressive results using this software right here that automates essentially 99% of the process. So gets you keywords, generates the content. This, again, solely for on-page as well. Automatic publishing, indexing, social syndication, even allows you to update existing content. Also get you backlinks, which is tied in a bit with off-page. You don't need to use the software. You can just learn step by step from this right here, which essentially you can do it manually. Again, there's a bunch more results here. 20K local month business. For example, Abby right here is now ranking clients within just 1 to 2 months using this software. You don't need to use it, right? You can do all this manually. I just figured that using a software is going to be just way faster. 20K month local business. This guy right here, Damon, $100,000 a month leveraging AI. Okay, of course, not just leveraging our software, but there's a lot that comes into play when you reach these numbers, but he's using it for his business. Kicking right here, 4x traffic with content from our software. 8-figure tech companies using, actually met the co-founder for Rob right here. They just bought a bank for 35 million euros. They're hiring 100 people at the end of the year. Big company using the software I'm about to show you. This guy right here, big fintech company as well. 0 to 10K traffic, 0 to 6K traffic, healthcare marketing company, 2x traffic in 8 weeks for a pet supplement company, 2x traffic in 90 days for a workout supplement company, 3K to 10K for a real estate marketing company, 0 to 2,300 traffic in 90 days. Results so impressive. In SEM Rush commented on LinkedIn, the results were very impressive. 5,000 organic keyword rankings and 3,000 organic monthly search traffic. Insane. And also the tool allows you to revive existing content, which is pretty cool. So you can take like existing content, as you see here, right? You just update the content and you see a boost in rankings because the content now becomes even more relevant. So you can take like existing boring content like this and beef it up with images, links, videos, more relevant information. So again, adding images, videos, fresh info, internal links, all with the software. So I'm just going to play a real quick clip here of what the software does real quick. So let me just be right back in a second. Right, so we're here. And if this looks a bit different, if you want to try it out later on, if this looks a bit different than your own dashboard, don't worry, this is my special account. It's a account with a bunch of beta features, things we're testing. So this might look a bit different, so don't worry about it, right? And here's an article I generated a couple of days ago, okay? And this, again, is done with that. This is for a different niche, right? The one you saw before was for the plastic surgery niche. This is for an Audit dealership, okay, in Texas. Again, this is all done with AI. The featured image, table of contents, all this done with AI, the images, the internal links, the external links. And I want to run you through how to generate one of these like real quick. So what you do is you go here to the SEO article and like don't mind all this stuff right here, all this super short, right? Essentially what you need to know is that you need to give the AI input, right? This is the input you give to the AI, right? And the better the input, the better the output, right? You can choose the language, right? From over 150 different languages. You can choose a target country because even though you choose English as a language, right? It's very different to produce content that's tailored for the US versus the UK, where both people or both the countries speak English, okay? That's very important. You can connect it to the web so that the content is up to date. So what's written here is up to date, right? With what's happening in the world. You can even create a knowledge base. This is super powerful. Essentially what it does is you can feed ROI with info about your brand. So it's able to produce brand tailored content with your own brand's mannerisms, brand tone of voice. So you can feed it PDFs, you can feed it YouTube videos, you can feed it text documents, you can feed it URLs. So you can feed as much data about your brand, about your business as possible so that the content produced, right, this stuff right here is actually brand tailored, right? Formatting, like you can choose bold words, italics, tables, there's a bunch of stuff right here. Structure, you can add key takeaways, you can select the article length, you can even add a custom call to action. This is really used by a lot of Shopify brands where they generate an article. Let's say, for example, I have a gardening brand, right? I sell gardening supplies, right? And I generated this article about the best time to plant strawberries, right? I have a full article with images of how to plant strawberries or where to plant strawberries. And at the end, right, if I add, say, for example, here, my Shopify store URL or a product, for example, right, it will automatically add a custom section down below the article with a call to action to my product page. So you'll take the whole context of the article into account and add a custom call to action section according to the link I put here. You can use this for products, services, any single essentially thing you're selling to the article, okay? Internal linking, this is where you can set up so that the articles have links right here to internal pages on your site. So for example, maybe to another blog post of yours, maybe to a service page, maybe to the About Us page, right? Maybe to a product page, right? These are internal links, so links coming to pages on your site. You can set up external linking. So for example, let's say this was an article about finance, right? We could have links to Wikipedia, we could have links to Investopedia, maybe Bloomberg, maybe TechCrunch. So all these are external links, so links linking out to external sources. You can set up all this here. There's a bunch of features, advanced features right here, which I won't cover, but there's like a video tutorial here if you want to watch it, okay? Then images, in this case, I used AI images. This is AI, by the way. You can use stock photos or your own custom images if you like. Videos, as you see here, right? There's also in-article videos that are relevant to what the content is about. So none of this is random, right? The videos aren't random, the images aren't random, the content isn't random, the links aren't random. None of this is random, right? This is a video that's tailored to what the content is about. In this case, about Audis, which the article is about Audis, okay, the car. And also auto translate, you can generate the articles in multiple languages at once, okay? And then once you have all this filled, you just click generate article, and this is what it will output, okay? Now, very important, what you see here, you see post to integration, right? If I click here, it says integration because we can straight with just a click of a button, post this straight to our site. Now it says integration because we integrate with all these platforms. Blogger, Ghost, Shopify, Wix, Webflow, Squarespace, WordPress, right? Even custom sites if you like. So again, with the click of a button, you can just send this to your site in a few seconds. Now, just to finish off, if I go here to blog automation, I can set up an auto blog, which essentially is a way that allows me to have and produce however many articles I want, let's for example say 5 every week. And so what this does is we basically connect, right, Journalist AI with our little website right here, right? This is our website. And every week, right, 5 articles, so Monday through Friday, 1 article will be posted every single day on to our site, right? So the AI is connected to your site and it generates, right, and automatically publishes the content to your site. And of course, if we expand on one of these articles, right, they'll look like as the ones you saw before, right, with a featured image, a table of contents, proper content structuring with in-article images, in-article videos, bullets, tables, quotes, right, internal links. So these articles will be interlinked between each other in a way that makes sense. External links linking out to external authoritative sources like Wikipedia, Investopedia, right, depending on your niche, right? External links, all that set up for you automatically. On top of that, right, as you saw before, you can do the keyword research for you. So you can do the keyword research for you, which I won't show you right now because it's going to take too long, but it can generate the content based off of this keyword research. Then with the social media syndication feature, you can take these articles and automatically syndicate them to your LinkedIn, to your Twitter, which is now called X, to your Facebook with dedicated posts automatically, right? On top of that, you can also set up the indexing as I saw before, right? So it automatically indexes the content. So essentially, this automates, as I said before, almost 99% of your SEO efforts. That does all of this automatically for you. If I go back here again and just go to the article that I was showing you before, right? I just go here to my history and just type in Audit to find the article that I generated a couple days, weeks ago, right? I just click it as such, open it up, right? Open it up again. And now I'm going to edit this with AI. Click here, edit with AI. And this is amazing, guys. Take a look at this. So let's say, for example, I think this is a bit too short. I want to give the readers more context. So just go here, boom, and I do make it longer, right? And the AI will make this paragraph longer. There we go. Let's say, for example, I think it would maybe be a good idea to add links here. So I just go here, add links, add external links, and the AI will read through the article, read through this paragraph, and find the best places to add links, external links to. Boom, there we go, links added. I can do the same thing for internal links if I'd like. Now again, you might be asking, yeah, sure, you can do this manually. Yeah, of course, you can do all this manually, but why would you when you can just save like hours and hours on end with AI? Here's, for example, another one. You can take this image, you could say, put it underwater. I don't know why you want to do this, but you can, right? And essentially, the article will take the same image, the same car, the whole context of the article and put it underwater. There you go. That's an audio again, underwater. I don't know why you want to do this, but you can, right? And this works with anything. I can say add a dog, add whatever you want, right? But now let's say, for example, I think the info here would be better suited to be in a list form because I think my readers prefer to read lists other than paragraph. I can just do this. Boom. There we go. It's list form. I can do the same thing for tables, right? I can make it longer, make sure. I can even do custom prompts. I can say, write this in a way only car enthusiasts would understand, right? Or so you can essentially tailor this and add custom prompts and speak with the article and edit it in real time. So the advantage of this is that it allows you to not only generate with AI, but also edit with AI. So that's why you save a ton of time. Add links, change the text, change the images. It's so powerful. So that's it. Let me just jump back on into the presentation. So yeah, that's what it does essentially. Now again, you can do all this manually, right, that I showed before. You can do SEO manually, or you can just use this software that essentially automates the whole process for you. Now I know, of course, this is a video on local SEO, but you cannot, or I mean, it's harder to succeed with local SEO if you don't do the regular part of SEO. Let's call it that way. I mean, it's way easier to succeed in local SEO, in ranking the maps, if you have a proper on-page, if you have a proper, regular SEO as well, strategy as well. So don't just go for local SEO. In the maps, go for a holistic local SEO strategy, which also implies that you need to do, again, the regular SEO, which entails on-page, off-page, and technical. For off-page, watch this course for free in the description. Teaches you every single thing I know about off-page SEO, how to get backlinks and all this stuff. Super important. For on-page, you can watch these courses, or you can just use the software that I mentioned before that essentially automates all of it for you. In terms of technical SEO, well, I mean, we'll have videos on the channel covering all this stuff, but again, good site speed, schema markup, and proper meta tags should do the work. That's it. That's the video. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. And do check the description for all access to all these courses with free stuff if you want. And also, if you want to give it a go at Journalist AI, use the code SECRET10 to get 10% off. Because again, if you made it to the end of the video, I think you deserve this. Cheers.